Akiva need a podcast, and they need your help. Can you make it onto the wheel? Rob and Akiva need a podcast. Yeah, they'll buy or sell your ideas. They'll talk about it till you've got it, you'll feel. Every weekend, better attend. You can guess what will be coming up next. Rob and Akiva need a podcast.
Yes, Rob and Akiva need a podcast, episode number 12, Keeve.
Yeah, they said it would not make it. People were like, ha ha ha, why do you have 3 digits in the titles of the episodes, as if we're ever going to get past double digits? And here we are.
Yes. Now, if you had episode number 12 as the episode in which Mike Bloom would make his first appearance on Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast, you probably got the over on that bet. And we're very excited to have Mike Bloom with us here today. Give it up for Mr. Mike Bloom.
Yeah, I'd say over by about 13 or so episodes. I'm a little disappointed. I thought Akiva would bring me in with his fancy desk knocking intercom like I did with Josh Wigler a few episodes ago.
Yeah, I retired the desk knocker.
All right. Mike Bloom, before we get to you, I just want to talk about our last episode where Akiva and I were sorted into our Harry Potter houses with Alice and Martha from the Real Weird Sisters podcast. Akiva, how did you feel like that one was received?
I think people really like it so far. I already forgot which house I am.
Yeah,
That's a little bit of a
well,
problem.
this is my big pet peeve for you, because in the editing of the podcast, I realized that you gaslighted everybody on that podcast, because you found out your house and said, okay, that I found out from Pottermore that I am a Gryffindor. And then a couple minutes later, you started referring yourself as Ravenclaw. And then everybody else just picked up on that. And then you were Ravenclaw the rest of the podcast.
A couple minutes, meaning we recorded like 4 days later, the second half of that podcast, right?
That sounds like a real Slytherin thing to do, Akiva.
In the same conversation. That
You know why? Because I'm unfamiliar with Gryffindor, so I only knew 3 houses: Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw.
And yeah, but even then, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten more people emailing us about this. You announced yourself Gryffindor and then proceeded to call yourself Ravenclaw.
Is that a Ravenclaw move to lie about your house?
No, it's 100% Slytherin. Slytherins would absolutely lie about what house.
It was an accident. What if I'm just dumb and I totally forgot about it? I really don't know the difference, so it's not like I wanted to be a Ravenclaw. I'm fine being a Gryffindor. I feel like it's the least popular house in terms of what people they are.
That's you. That's you. You are a Gryffindor. Don't try to change who you are, Akiva.
I'm taking this test again later. I'm going to see if I'm
truly get a second opinion on that. Let's talk to my fellow Hufflepuff, Mr. Mike Bloom. Mike, we had this idea of a Brant Steele TV Top 50, and we felt like that this would be the perfect time to get you in the mix.
I'm excited for many reasons. First off, it was only natural that I would come on because y'all can't get my name out your damn mouths. So I thought it would just be appropriate for me to come on, at this time. I honestly was surprised that it got drawn so quickly. The wheels got like a good juju in terms of guests going for it. We're like,
it sweeps.
The past 3 out of 4 episodes have been guest oriented.
Yeah, so big guest season with the SZN, and so we're it's the holidays. We're trying to bring in all of our friends and loved ones.
Yeah, it's a total Thanksgiving thing where I've come in, I brought my own little Brant Steele pumpkin pie, and we'll see if it's actually good or not in the process of making it.
Okay, so people who are familiar with the Survivor podcast and have listened to Mike and I talk about Brant Steele, they obviously know what the exercise is that we're about to do. But Akiva, could you please explain what a Brant Steele is to anybody that might be listening to Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast that may not be part of the greater Survivor coverage?
Ooh, you're in trouble if that's the case. No, so we're essentially, to put it simply, we're going to play out a fake season of Survivor. You could do it with any combination of things. You could do it with survivors. You could do it with, members of your own family. But we're going to do it today with the 50 greatest TV characters of all time as chosen by thisisinsider.com, everyone's favorite website.
Yes. Some of the favorite TV characters of all time. You do not, I don't believe you need to love Survivor to enjoy what we're going to do. If you are a fan of, iconic TV characters, I think that you can enjoy this podcast if you do not keep up with Survivor or love Survivor as some of the fans of Robin's podcast do.
Yeah, we should also add that this podcast was sent in to be added to the wheel by a listener named Jocelyn. So shout out to Jocelyn.
Shout out to Jocelyn. Okay, so how did we end up with the thisisinsider.com list of top 50 characters? Because I was
We're
under
going
the
to have to
impression...
blame Jocelyn.
Yeah, I was gonna
Jocelyn
say-
sent the link.
Okay.
When a website has to say what it is in its title, you know it's not that reputable.
They
That's
couldn't
interesting.
They couldn't get insider.com.
Yes.
They got This Is Insider.
So, Mike, are you saying that the TV show This Is Us, that should have just been called Us, and because they needed to explain, no, this is Us, then, like the movie This Is 40, should have just been called 40?
I mean, brevity is the soul of wit, though it could cause some Laurel and Hardy-esque confusion when you say, have you been watching Us? And then just sort of falls apart
It's too
from there.
confusing. So maybe that was a sign that this is a bad name for a show. Quality show, but maybe a bad name.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad you did not do a This Is Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast. Maybe if you do some rebranding, you might get there, depending on how much traffic this is in. Is this an insider.com? It's going to get the T-dub from RAANAP listeners.
Yeah, but Akiva, was there not another list of top 50 TV characters? Why
Rob,
did we
that's
get
not
boxed
how the wheel
in?
works. A listener sends in, here's my list, here's the top 50, here's my idea, and we did it. We didn't start playing with the idea. Yes, of course, every list on Earth would have been better than the list that Insider.com came up with. But listen, we are stuck with that, except me, who cheated and picked someone who's not on the list. We'll get to that soon.
Okay, because I mean, I probably would have been more likely to greenlight this if this was like Alan Sepinwall's list of top 50 TV characters, or the TV Guide, or something.
Now, see, why do you mention this good idea now?
How dare you, Rob? You insult Jethro Netadog, Kim Renfro. These are household names.
I could have sworn that when this idea was put on the wheel, that we were picking from the TV Guide top 50 list of characters.
I think we thought it was TV Guide, and then like the next 4 episodes we called it TV Guide, but in reality it was always This Is Insider.com.
Yes, when it has the name TV in its title, it's pretty much assumed it's TV Guide.
Okay, so a couple of housekeeping things. Okay, so I am recording video of the desktop screen share that we're doing. So Akiva, would you say that this is like Brant Steele desktop? Can I market this as Brant Steele desktop, and then this could be a hit show?
No, I don't think people know what that is. I think we're overestimating how many people know what Brant Steele is. But I'm
okay. Brant Steele is BrantSteele.net. It's the name of the website where they have all these fake Survivor simulations that Mike, Akiva, and I are on a conference call where we can all see what I'm screen sharing. So we will be reacting to the video in real time. You can't see we're not on video. We're just all looking at the same desktop. But I will post that video on the website and on the Rob's a Podcast YouTube channel. If anybody is a visual learner and would like to watch along and react as we do, it will have all of the audio from this podcast all in the video format of this.
Yeah, and the video component is understandable, given that Rob and I have done these a few times, and they can usually get chaotic and crazy, and sometimes you sort of just need to like get a lay of the land as to who's in the game and who's with who, because things are just going to get very messy very quickly if it plays like any other Brant Steele simulations we've done.
Okay, all right, let me give you the list of top 50 most memorable TV characters from thisisinsider.com. I'll give you the list real quick, and then we did an email draft to determine each of our teams of 6, our tribes of 6 that are going to be competing in this season, and then the computer has simulated everything based on the people that we have selected. And so we will be now learning the results of this season. So real quick, in no particular order, right, Mike?
I have no idea. We do not know the method of the madness behind these 6 collective writers of this, but yeah, I would assume so. It spans decades. It spans comedy, drama. So
yes.
I don't know exactly. I guess we'll see if the first character they mention, if we think is the best one, then maybe there is actually a listing.
And
there.
Again, this is as compiled by Jethro Netadog, Kristen Acuna, Kim Renfro, Jacob Shamsalon, Angelica Oswald, and Olivia Singh. Okay, so that the
Some
Brain
agree.
Trust. from behind thisisinsider.com. Okay. All right. So here we go. In no particular order. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Phoebe Buffay, Friends. I don't think the number one most iconic TV character of all time. And so perhaps number 50. Carlton Banks, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, okay, maybe this is 49. Lucy Ricardo. That'd be kind of low for her to be 48. Mary Richards, The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Michael Scott, The Office. Marsha Brady from The Brady Bunch, Don Draper from Mad Men, 11 from Stranger Things, Lafayette Reynolds from True Blood, maybe a little bit of an upset there to crack the top 50, Jack McFarland from Will and Grace, Willow Rosenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Rose Nyland from The Golden Girls, Fonzie from Happy Days, Paris Geller from The Gilmore Girls, Tony Soprano from The Sopranos, Olivia Pope from Scandal, Kenneth Parcell from 30 Rock, Darlene from Roseanne, not the Connors, just from Roseanne, SpongeBob SquarePants from the self-titled
Eponymous.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Walter White from Breaking Bad, Serena from Bewitched. We have Philip J. Fry from Futurama, Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, not young Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, Helena from Orphan Black. Am I pronouncing that right, Mike?
Helena.
Okay, John Locke from Lost, Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, Alfred Paperboy Miles from Atlanta, Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote. Boy, Jessica Fletcher getting a lot of love from RAANAP right now, Akiva.
Oh, no doubt. We got like 4 emails about Murder, She Wrote.
Jack Tripper also, who was recently added to the Fishbowl for Three's Company. Sam Malone from Cheers. Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld. Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development. Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Omar Little from The Wire. Archie Bunker from All in the Family, Marianne Summers from Gilligan's Island, Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation, Dexter Morgan from Dexter, Homer Simpson, and Miranda Bailey from Grey's Anatomy, Robert Barone from Everybody Loves Raymond, Oscar the Grouch, Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, Chidi from The Good Place, and Spock from Star Trek, Kelly Bundy from Married with Children, Kermit the Frog, Nora Durst from The Leftovers, and Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. So again,
that's number one.
Number one, of course, yes, and everybody knows Kelly Bundy, the number 4 most iconic TV character.
Yes, of course. Nora Durst, really silver medal for despite being on like 2.4 seasons of TV.
Well, what about? I don't know if you're a Bewitched stan, Rob, but Serena was like not even in the opening credits on Bewitched. No idea. She's not even on most seasons. She's a guest star when she is. That's just a completely insane pick that I have to assume they meant somebody else, to be honest.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, maybe?
I don't know. Did those like
someone said it's begins with an S, ends with an A, and there's something to do with a witch.
Sabrina the witch. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. All right, put that one down. How dare you? How dare you quibble with thisisinsider.com?
She was like barely on the show. Even.
Who are you?
Some of these people like aren't even in the top 5 of their own show, let alone.
Okay, so that was the list. That was the list, the hand that we were dealt. And then so we got on email shortly after the recording of this, the last podcast we did, right after the wheel spin. And we got online for an email draft where we were going to pick the players for our team. Mike, any setup for the email draft?
I will say that we did it snake style, and I got the first pick, which... Listen, Akiva was the one who randomly generated it.
Yeah, I went to random.org and I generated it. I even sent you.
So it's clear that the odds have just been in my favor generally, considering I got on here on the first place and I also got first in the draft.
You also get 18th pick. I mean, you're really stuck with the dregs at the end.
Yes. Yeah, Darlene was really. I was getting trigger happy for Darlene by the end of it.
All right, and then any thoughts that you guys want to set up in terms of how did you go about drafting your team, Mike?
So, I mean, I was looking at, especially starting off, I was not only looking at TV characters, but I feel like in this pop culture zeitgeist we live in, where we love to sort of cross-compare different franchises, Rob, you've done it with a number of times with Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, etc. I feel like there are certain characters where people can say, oh, what if this person played Survivor? And I know at least with a couple of my picks, that's sort of the attitude that I took of here's a character who's on the list who I think might also, do interesting things in the game of Survivor. Now, again, I don't think Brant Steele is going to take their actual character into consideration. It's all sort of luck of the draw, but I think it's fun to see them regardless.
Okay. I will add that, the draft has already been done and Mike loaded everybody in. I did try to assign the character traits most associated with these characters to the Brant Steele. So we'll see what Brant Steele is able to spit out from the additional information that I added to the characters.
This should be fun, though. This will be I'm a fan of fan fiction. This should be the best fan fiction.
Okay.
By that metric.
All right. Akiva, how did you approach the most ambitious crossover event in the history of mankind?
I kind of just went with comedic characters. I didn't really. I've also not seen a lot of dramas. I wanted to only go with shows I'd seen, which made it hard at the end because we needed a sort of 3 men, 3 women. And at the end, there was just there were more men than women on the top 50. This is insider.com list. Shame on them. And then a lot of the women, I had never seen their shows. So especially Serena from Bewitched, because she wasn't really on that show. I'd never seen Roseanne. So I went off the board, actually. I was the only person. I took a character who was not on in the top 50 as my third pick.
Okay, we'll get there. All right. Mike, can you give us the rundown of the draft, and let's do a line or two on why they were picked, and because we got to get to this.
Okay, let me just bring that up.
Can't have too much foreplay on the Brant Steele. That's because these things run long. You don't want to waste your time too much on messing around here.
No, you don't want to be too premature with anything like that. Okay, so I had the number 1 pick, and I went with Mr. Walter White. So infamous that, Angie Cons has a character type for Survivor based on him. So I thought he would be a good person to just take right off the board.
Okay. All right. Great pick. Walter White is a must-have. Second pick overall went to Akiva.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to go Seinfeld heavy, and I really wanted the duo of Larry David and Elaine. So I figured go right off the bat with LD. Probably for strategic reasons, probably should have gone Elaine first since she was more likely to be picked.
Pretty good choice.
I think it was a good choice. LD would be miserable. He would be really funny to have on Survivor for the one day before he quit. So LD with my first pick, and then I picked Elaine right after your double pick.
Well, Larry David also has experience with a Survivor, so maybe that sort of gives him a leg up here.
Yeah, that's true. He could have called Colby and asked him for advice.
Okay. All right. So then I had the picks at the turn at 3 and 4. I went very HBO heavy in terms of my picks here. I went with the third pick overall. I took Daenerys Targaryen. I felt like that one of the strongest female characters on the board, and I wasn't sure if she was going to get back to me on the Rob tribe. And then I went with Mr. Tony Soprano. I would love to see Tony Soprano out there on the island. The closest we got was Judd in Survivor Guatemala. And I felt like that he would be a must-have in this season.
So Akiva and I were actually talking about this before getting on the line. What frame of mind are we going to assume these characters are in? Because a lot of these characters go through a lot of the, over the course of the events that occur on the respective show. So, I mean, I guess, are we going to sort of play Tony Soprano as he is in a
Rob, is Tony Soprano dead in this? Is this dead Tony Soprano season 1 of Sopranos? Tony Soprano?
No, I think it's Tony Soprano at the height of his powers.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Rob?
Yes.
Do you think Tony Soprano died in the last scene of The Sopranos?
I do not.
Okay.
Because
I do. I think that's why I went.
Well, let's put that on the wheel. We'll go through that the whole thing. Put that on the wheel. Okay. All right. Okay. This is where we're getting too much in the weeds here. We got to get through this list. We got 15 tribal councils to get through today.
Right. So Akiva picked Elaine with number 5. You mentioned that before. I had back-to-back picks. I went with number 6. I went with Homer Simpson. I feel like we don't have a lot of cartoon characters represented, and also, he is from one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and he also is someone who is able to blindly stumble his way into the luckiest positions, only to be hoisted on his own petard. So we'll see if that sort of translates to this.
Rob, Mike, when you say he's from one of your favorite TV shows of all time, you mean the Tracy Ullman Show?
Yes. Oh my God, Tracy kills me every time. So I'm a huge TU stan. Got a big sweatshirt with her over it. So
All right, Homer Simpson is number 5. Okay, who's got the next pick?
Yeah, so I had the next pick. I went to go with someone old school. So I ended up going with Lucy Ricardo, one of the OG big TV stars. And I figured that Lucy is also someone who's very wily, very schemy. So we'll see if that sort of corresponds to her operations on the island.
Okay, all right. Who is the next pick?
I picked Michael Scott. I just thought that Larry David would have no patience for him and it would be funny.
Okay. Great. And then it came back around to me on the turn. And what did I do, Mike? Remind me.
So you first picked Miss Leslie Knope from
yes.
Parks and Recreation. Any particular reason why?
No, that should be fun to have there. And, I wanted to make sure that I drafted a man and a woman each round. So I didn't want to be, picking like sort of iconic characters. And then so I got to fill out my roster. So I wanted to have a man, woman every round because I was on the turn.
And from the terrains of Indiana to the reaches of outer space, you picked Spock and number 10. Now, I was going to troll you for a second, Rob, and put in the bearded Spock picture from Star Trek Discovery instead of the Leonard Nimoy original.
It's fine, but he was not who This Is Insider selected, Mike.
That's true, though. Who knows? Updated next year, we might see a new Spock overtakes old Spock for best TV character.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going through. So all right, so we've got Walter White, Larry David, Daenerys, Tony, Elaine Bennis, Homer Simpson, Lucy Ricardo, Michael Scott, Leslie Knope, Spock. That's the top 10. We came back around, and then I think we got the draft order a little wrong in the retelling of this. Michael Scott is there, and then Mike. We could go back to you for 2.
No, then after Spock, I picked Oscar the Grouch.
Okay. All right. Is this Mike? Can you confirm? Was this the correct draft order?
Yeah. So it went because I think there's been some disparity with the thread. So it went Lucy Ricardo, Michael Scott, Knope, Spock, Oscar the Grouch.
Okay. All right. Let's just jump into the tribes here because we're losing the draft order. I feel like Mickey Callaway right now. So let's go ahead and jump into what's going on with our Brant Steele tribes. And so let's just look at the completed tribes. All right. So we have starting here the RHAP tribe, which is going to wear orange, is Daenerys Targaryen, Don Draper, Leslie Knope, Olivia Pope. We got the Pope and Knope thing happening.
Ooh, that's
Spock.
That's
and
Nick
Tony
Wilson would love that.
Nope, Pope.
Spock and Tony Soprano, which are they going to get along? I feel like that this is
What's the most combustible duo you think on your tribe? Who are you nervous about?
Daenerys Targaryen and Tony Soprano.
Yes.
That's
now,
fire
does
and
Daenerys,
fire.
And we could go over this during the thing. Does she have her dragons on the island? Is an important question.
No, I don't. I think that would be an unfair advantage. If she does, then the baby dragons.
The baby dragons. Yeah. That's who's in the picture.
Yeah, so they're baby dragons, so they can't go and take out an ally or anything like that. I think we have some possibilities. Could there be showmances happening? Is Spock in Ponfar? Who knows? Okay, all right. That's the Rob tribe. All right, let's meet the Akiva tribe, the wacky, funny tribe. Okay, Akiva's tribe turns out to be Elaine Bennis, Larry David, Michael Scott, Oscar the Grouch, Phoebe Buffay, and tell me about Lisa Turtle.
Yeah, I needed a third woman. I didn't want anyone who's on the list. I wanted Saved by the Bell, sort of. I needed a little bit more diversity on my tribe. I would say it's all white people, but Oscar the Grouch, I guess, is technically.
Yeah, it's an affront to
not a
Muppet.
person.
And yes, Rob, Oscar the Grouch is a Muppet. He's not just a puppet.
Yes. But yeah, so I Lisa Turtle is my favorite character from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
So.
Really?
Yeah, no question. It's insane if she's not.
What do you mean it's
I
insane?
hate
If she's not?
Screech, and
She's
she always puts him in his place.
definitively 6 out of 6 when it comes to the main cast.
In terms of lines on the show, and yes, they didn't like her enough to even invite her to be on Saved by the Bell the college years, but she's just such a unique character. Chuck Klosterman has a whole long essay in his book about how great Lisa Turtle is.
Wow.
So yeah, I think in my tribe, so it's all sitcoms. I don't know if Sesame Street is a situation comedy, but but if everyone is from a non-drama here. The one thing I'm nervous about, guys, is my challenge strength with Larry David, Michael Scott, and Oscar the Grouch. Not great.
Yeah, Oscar the Grouch. I don't know how mobile he is in that trash can.
We know Elaine Bennis is good at pushing people over, but I'm not sure how strong she is. Lisa Turtle usually doesn't do a lot of hard labor.
Yeah.
and Phoebe also. Like,
I can't wait for the Mechie dance challenge that they do and just see Elaine go crazy.
Ooh, that would be great.
All right, let's meet the Mike Bloom tribe, which turns out to be Homer Simpson, Lucille Bluth, Lucy Ricardo, Marsha Brady, Omar Little, and Walter White.
This is a hot mess tribe.
Yeah, this is-
First off, none of my men have hair. I don't think I did that on purpose, but this tribe is sponsored by Propecia. I mean, I think that Omar and Walter White are probably going to go head to head. Even though I don't know, because Omar is one of the reasons why I picked Omar is one of the most notorious like free agents in television history. He's this reported vigilante, didn't really take a side in terms of the street wars, but I feel like both of them feel like they own their sort of own sector, that they would probably go up against each other. Though you have Lucille Bluth thrown in there as well, who is always callous. And Marsha Brady is, I don't know, unfortunately, I feel like she's a bit of a lamb thrown to the slaughter here. I do feel like she has a little bit of like the unattainable, like things that might get like Brandon Hansen trouble quality to her.
I think the network demanded that there be a Marsha Brady on the season.
Exactly. So I feel like we might seem like some more lascivious shots of Marsha, especially compared to some of the other people on her tribe. But we'll see. I fully expect this tribe to visit tribal council multiple times.
Yeah. I don't even know how Marsha got on the This Is Insider list. How did she get drafted by you, Mike? Are you a big Brady Bunch stan?
Oh, yeah. I've watched a lot. I've watched a lot of Brady Bunch. I watched the Brady Bunch Goes Hawaiian. I even watched Pop-Up Brady, which was on TV Land. They used to do pop-up video fun facts about the Brady Bunch while it was going on. I would say it was one of that and Full House are probably the two biggest sitcoms I watched the most amount during my childhood.
Real quick, Keith, can we go through the notable snubs from the This Is Insider Top 50?
Yes,
Who had
the
their
snubs
bags
and
packed?
flubs.
Who got like the T-Bird treatment where they were like, hey, we're ready to go, and then did not get the call?
I was really expecting a couple people. First of all, everyone here is a big Lost guy, so I thought John Locke would make it onto the island, but it was a pretty stacked male list. Don Draper, I thought, had a really good chance of getting cast.
I think he had a great chance to get cast.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, Fonzie. Fonzie, I thought would really, would be funny to have on. We just say "a" all day. And then on the women's side, I thought that I didn't know if you guys were big Stranger Things guys. I thought 11 had a chance to get on.
I thought it was too much of a recency bias. With 11.
I knew in my bones that Mike would take Lucille from Arrested Development. But I think the biggest female snub was Samantha from Sex and the City, because she has a million showman's possibilities across the board. She would be great.
I really looked at her towards the end. For me, it was either going to be Olivia Pope or Samantha Jones. I went with Olivia Pope. I felt that she had more winner upside, but
definitely.
And I also feel like Sam Malone was a big snub.
Would have been fun.
And I think that it also would have been fun to have Sheldon Cooper in there. Or Dexter.
Yeah, I think Archie Bunker would have been a man who spun 1,000 think pieces. I think
and I think if when we come back into TV characters Blood versus Water, we can have Sheldon versus young Sheldon and see what happens.
Ooh. Okay. All right, let's get into this. And so, of course,
one more thing, Rob. Yes. We have we did say in the last episode we were going to make this interesting.
Oh, is it the person who wins what do you want to do?
I think we said $1,000 a person.
$1,000 a person. So the winner, the winner walks home with $2,000. Whoever.
Well, I mean 3 technically, but yeah, sure.
Well, you paid one.
Like, paid 1 to get 3. Yeah.
Wow.
I would say that you are taking food out of my prospective child's mouth.
Oh, you didn't listen to this week's episode yet because it just came out.
Oh, you should listen, Mike.
Said that. Yeah. I did say that last week.
But considering I'm talking to two actual fathers, so I'm definitely preaching to the choir.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So let's get into this, and in true Elaine style, we may yada yada some things along the way, to make this a little more palatable. But let's see. So we are playing this in the Survivor Cagayan format. Mike, any reason why you chose Cagayan?
I wanted, since we had 3 tribes, in our previous simulations, we've done other 3 tribe seasons like Karong, and we've done Worlds Apart as well. And you know what? Cagayan is heralded as one of the best Survivor seasons of all time, and we want this to be one of the best seasons of television of all time. So I hope the connotation would stay.
Okay. We got to do thisisinsider.com proud. Okay. All right. Let's do our first impressions. Okay. This is where we are going to have each of the tribe vote for a leader. The Rob tribe has voted Spock as the leader. I think that's a good pick. Very logical pick. Okay. The Akiva tribe has voted Phoebe Buffet their leader.
Very bad sign.
And Omar Little.
Now Omar has a big gun in the picture, so I'd like
so
to
I think
he has
it's
it
like
on the island.
on how Survivor, they take first impressions like, oh, guy with the jacket. They're like, okay, I write down man with gun, the leader of the tribe.
Guy who has a gun in my head forcing me to make him the leader.
All right, leaders. So each of you will now select a person who you think is the weakest from your group. All right, Spock. Who is the weakest member of your tribe? Oh, Olivia Pope. Scandalous. Okay. Then Phoebe Buffet has chosen Larry David.
Probably true.
Has chosen Larry David to be the weakest member of the tribe. Okay. All right. Then Omar has chosen Lucille Bluth to be the weakest member of his tribe. Probably fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to find an idol unless it's at the bottom of a vodka bottle. So I think that's pretty safe.
Okay. All right. So they'll be airlifted back to their camp, and they have a clue to the hidden immunity idol. They can either trade that clue, they can look for the idol with the clue, or trade it in for an extra bag of rice for their tribe. Olivia will take the extra bag of rice for her tribe. She's a long-term thinker. Larry David will take the clue to the hidden immunity idol. Sounds
David
about
Sampson stuff, right?
Sorry, Keith, what was that?
Wasn't that David Sampson style? Isn't this?
I know it was Garrett Adelstein.
Yeah,
Garrett
he
Adelstein.
picked Garrett as the weakest.
Oh, that's right. David picks Garrett.
And then Lucille Bluth will take the extra bag of rice. She can't be bothered to go look for the idol. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at our alliances going on here in these tribes in the early going. We have an alliance of 4 in the RHAP tribe. That is Daenerys Targaryen, Don Draper, Leslie Knope, and Olivia Pope. The Knope and
that's a
Pope
good
thing is
alliance.
happening with Don Draper and Daenerys Targaryen. So we'll call this alliance Sterling Cooper.
Sterling Cooper, Nope, Pope, Targaryen.
Yeah. Okay. Then an 8 strength alliance. Okay. Meanwhile, Spock and Tony Soprano have become unlikely friends.
I love this. I love this already.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the Akiva tribe and see what's going on here. We have an alliance of 8, an 8 strength alliance between Oscar the Grouch and Phoebe Buffet. Keeve.
I love it. I love it. They could. Does Oscar ever sing? He does, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's smelly and he's like close enough to a cat.
Yeah,
That's
well,
true.
both of them are fond of smelly cats, I believe. So that's what they're bonding over that. And then also we have the alliance between Larry David and Elaine Bennis. You can see that one coming with Lisa Turtle.
I love it. Now, Larry David created Elaine Bennis, so I feel like he has a lot of sway over how she's going to vote in this season.
Interesting. All right, let's go to Mike's tribe and see what's going on. Oh, a great alliance off the bat between Lucille Bluth and Omar Little. Even though Omar considered Lucille to be the weakest, that she does not hold that against him.
Yeah, I would assume that, it's like sort of like keep your enemies closer type of thing where like Lucille has her eye on Omar, but they decide to sort of just keep looking out for each other. They're also both very like shrewd people in their respective businesses. So maybe they sort of respect that of each other.
Yes. Okay. Another alliance of 2 here between Lucy Ricardo and Walter White.
God.
The
I
new
just can't wait for
Skylar.
Walter to say, Lucy, you've got some explaining to do after she like bundles a vote steal or something.
Okay, let's go to our first immunity challenge of the season, and we see that the Akiva tribe has 1 immunity.
Sweet.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. The team that's in 3rd place will go to tribal council, and that will be the Rob tribe right off the bat. 2nd place for the Mike Bloom tribe.
Wow. Considering that your tribe looked by far the most solid, that is actually quite surprising that Akiva and I are both able to survive the first tribal council.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to the beach to see what's going on. No one has found the idol until Daenerys Targaryen has discovered the hidden immunity idol. She's on a roll.
Well, fun thing about this, the idol was actually in the middle of the fire pit. And nobody was able to reach in except for Daenerys. So, I mean, people are saying rigged, but I mean, those others could have dragon blood and they just don't know it.
Okay, Daenerys has the idol, and Daenerys and Don Draper are bonding a lot. Keeve, could this be the beginning of a showmance?
Oh, if I was Daenerys, I would stay far away.
They both have their own failed marriages, so I think
They
that's
both have
something to
demons.
bond
One of them, I think, literally.
People are shipping this couple as Don Aris.
Oh, boy.
Yep, I'm already waiting for the YouTube channel to start up of Don Harris
They've got
Adventures.
a great YouTube channel. The Don Aris gang is going to start up a YouTube channel right after the season. Okay. And so let's check out what's going on the beach with the Akiva tribe. Lisa Turtle has the idol, Akiva.
Wow. I mean, I'm guessing, first of all, we never go back and see what's going on a tribe after an immunity challenge. So this is really
I mean that's just how Brant Steele is going to do it. It's going to do things in that specific order. So that they don't, there's some flaws in the system.
Is the idol a turtle? Is that how she was able to find it?
Yeah. Okay. And then back on the Mike Bloom tribe, guess what? Walter White has found the idol.
I'm assuming after a young child found it and he promptly poisoned the child to get the idol.
Meanwhile, the alliance between Lucy Ricardo and Walter White has not been holding up particularly well. It's now a very weak alliance.
I can imagine, considering that while Walter White does not have the best relationship with keeping secrets with females in his life, I think that totally makes sense.
Okay, let's go to our first tribal council of the season. Daenerys Targaryen, she is in an alliance, a strong alliance with Don Draper, part of a 4-person alliance with Hope and Nope. So, Nope and Pope. And so we'll see. It looks like Spock and Tony Soprano are probably the most likely people to be on the outs. But let's go to our tribal council number 1. Okay, are you guys ready?
Oh,
yeah, I'm nervous.
All right, here we go. Let's get to the votes. Daenerys is playing the idol at tribal council number 1 on Don Draper.
Wow, that's a first.
Okay.
Well, I think it's a tribal council. Like Don had a breakdown. Like he started talking about Hershey bars and this whorehouse he grew up in, and Daenerys felt guilty about it. So she thought, I got to play this idol to protect him.
Did he
Now,
have
if Daenerys gets voted out, guys, after playing the idol on somebody else in the first episode, is she like the biggest loser in the history of the show?
I think so. I think so.
That's almost impossible.
So she might have just completely been falling for Don Draper. Okay. All right. Let's see what the votes are. First vote, Don Draper does not count.
Oh, boy.
Don Draper does not count.
If this is a 5-1, this is going to be one of the greats.
Tony Soprano.
Ooh.
The
Tony
producers
Soprano.
are sweating. Producers are in trouble.
Tony Soprano, the tribe has spoken.
First boot. This is like when Tony Velachos came back.
Yeah, cut to black. The podcast is already over.
All right.
No.
So we saw the alliance of 4. They were voting for Tony Soprano. A waste of the idol here for Daenerys Targaryen. Not great play as Spock and Tony Soprano vote for Don Draper. And ultimately, Tony Soprano becomes our first person voted out. I guess not a huge surprise, Keith.
I mean, he was always going to have, there was always going to be like a prestige TV thing between Don Draper and Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
I feel like there could only be one of them, but I'm surprised that Tony was on the losing end this early.
Okay. All right. Don't stop believing for Tony Soprano.
I can't wait for Tony to come over to my tribe, considering that he has the same amount of hair as my guys. I think he could fit in over here.
All right. Tony Soprano is off to the bada bing after being voted out. That's Ponderosa this season, is the bada bing. Okay, let's go to episode number 2. All right, we're having so much fun already. Here we go. Episode number 2. You see the 5 people that are left. Let's check in with the alliances here. That alliance that voted out Tony Soprano, still very strong. Daenerys plus Nope and Pope. They've got that really strong alliance of 4 in the RHAP tribe. And then we have the alliances in the Akiva tribe. It's Phoebe and Oscar. And then it's also Larry David and Elaine. And then
no one's surprised there.
Over at Mike's tribe, we have Lucille and Omar. And now the level 3 alliance. The alliances are rated in strength from 0 to 10 between Walter White and Lucy Ricardo. Let's get to our second immunity challenge of the season. And it looks like that the Akiva tribe has another top finish.
Wow.
They will not
What
be
a
going to tribal
stunner.
council.
Maybe Oscar the Grouch is a challenge beast, and we didn't know.
This is the little tribe that could.
That's right.
And then Mike Bloom's tribe ends up in second place. And now this is not looking good for
man.
Commander Spock because this tribe is headed back.
He better find. I mean, listen, Daenerys used up an idol. There's another one out there. If Spock uses that logic, he could very easily find one.
Well, let's see. Let's go to the tribe events happening on Rob Beach. The hidden immunity idol is not discovered here.
Ooh, so I guess it's sort of like a one and done pre-merge thing.
Yeah, maybe. Over at the Akiva tribe, the bond between Elaine Bennis and Larry David has only strengthened. They are now at a level 7.
Wow.
Or they were at a level 7, and now they are even more loyal to each other. They've gone up from 7. Okay.
A 9 out of 10. That's impressive.
All right. And now over on the Mike Bloom tribe, we have the alliance between Lucille and Omar has faded. It is now a very weak alliance.
Who would have expected that?
Okay. Tribal Council number 2, Spock, barring a miracle, I think is going to be beamed on up out of here. No hidden immunity idol in play. Let's get to the votes here in Tribal Council number 2. First vote, Spock. Leslie Nope. That's 1 vote Spock, 1 vote Nope. Spock. The tribe has spoken. So Spock and Tony Soprano, boom, boom, back to back. They are right out of there. They did not live long and prosper in this game.
Should we play some Amazing Grace on bagpipe to send them off?
Yes.
I was gonna say the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few on this tribe. Unfortunately, that'll be the last of my Spock puns.
Yes.
Two dudes from the same tribe, they're just like Survivor Kagayan that we're parroting, right?
Yeah. Boom, boom. They go right out, and very, very sad to see the Spock and Soprano alliance broken up so quickly. We'll see if Spock is resurrected in episode 3.
Yeah, we'll see if McCoy was a character, and we could say that Spock was living in his head, right, the entire time.
Yes.
I'm so sad he's gone, so I can't understand what you guys are talking about.
Did Spock mind meld with Don Draper before he left, Mike?
That could be a possibility. If we see Don completely play in a game wrecking way, you could say that was Spock's sort of last minute revenge.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Spock is off to the Genesis planet, aka Redemption Island.
Have you ever done a season of this with Redemption Island? I feel like that would be a night.
I mean, it might be fun. It might be longer.
It would be about 7 hours. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We know how everybody voted. Let's go to the next episode. Okay. All right. So let's go to episode number 3 here, and that Alliance of 4. Now this is where it gets tricky, where the Alliance of 4 is the entire tribe. So they're going to have
challenge.
This could be a 2v2 if this Rob tribe goes
This could be a fire-making challenge.
Could we be going to fire?
I like Daenerys in the fire-making challenge.
No, that's true.
Okay. All right. Then we have a level 8 alliance between Phoebe and Oscar the Grouch in the Akiva tribe, and a level 9 alliance between Larry David and Elaine Bennis. So Michael Scott.
What are Michael Scott and Lisa? Lisa has the idol, and I know that she segregated herself. But what is Michael Scott doing?
I don't know. Well,
yeah,
classic.
we have not seen much.
Nobody wants to.
I'm not sure he knows how Survivor works.
All right. And then over on the Mike Bloom tribe, very loose alliances here between Lucille and Omar, level 3 alliance, and then also Lucy Ricardo and Walter White. Let's go to the immunity challenge. Can the Rob tribe stop the bleeding? All right. It looks like another win for the little tribe that could. The Akiva tribe wins immunity again.
I'm just already nervous about my tribe just blowing up after the merge, and your 2 tribes.
Yeah, this is a total Tandang thing waiting to happen right now with the Akiva's tribe.
All right. And then in second place, it is the Mike Bloom tribe, and the Rob tribe is very much in danger.
If your tribe gets knocked out in the first 6, you can go, and Mike and I will just finish.
Okay, good. This is the intentional Matt Singh, I think, coming up here. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the beach and see what's going on. Leslie Nope and Don Draper bond a lot. Interesting. Could be bad news for Olivia Pope here if Leslie Nope is now bonding with Don Draper. He's got a sales pitch for her.
Yeah, I think we were assuming that Nope and Pope would be in an alliance because their names sound similar, but that turns out not to be the case. I think they were just sort of purely in it by coincidence.
Okay, back on Akiva Beach. Larry David has isolated himself from the rest of the tribe, and nobody wants to align with him.
Sounds accurate.
I'm surprised this happened in episode 3 and not the first day of episode 1.
right. Let's go to the Mike Bloom tribe. And we see there is a very strong alliance now back between Lucille Bluth and Omar Little. They're on again, off again.
These two are the Ross and Rachel of this, which Phoebe maybe would do well with that, but this is just a roller coaster between the two.
Strong alliance. All right. Tribal Council number 3 could be bad news for Ms. Olivia Pope. Let's see how it goes. Let's get to our third Tribal Council of the season. First vote, Olivia. That's 2 votes, Olivia. Leslie Knope. Olivia Pope, 3-1, and just like we drew it up. Boy,
why did Olivia throw a vote at Leslie Knope? That makes no sense.
Why?
Well,
Who should she have voted for?
Well, I bet you it was a thing where, the power couple of Daenerys and Dawn made their pitch to both of them being like, look, vote for the other one and you'll be safe. And they just they were essentially the swings. They were the rock stars in this case and just figured out who they wanted to go with between Knope and Pope.
Okay. Wow. So we're down to just 3 people left in the RHAP tribe. They looked like they were getting so many 400 Golden Globe nominations for my tribe, but unfortunately they couldn't make it through 3 tribal councils.
Yeah, no immunity idol win, despite all the Emmys and Golden Globes.
All right.
You think Olivia Knope dropped a ... here?
But I don't know. This is
that's true. Actually, Olivia went out in the same episode as Bryce.
Yes. Okay. Shonda Rhimes is a very meanly worded tweet for the producers over at CBS. Okay. All right. Let's go to episode number 4, down to just 3 people. Daenerys plus Leslie Knope are all that's left in the RHAP tribe. Let's check in on the alliances, and they still have a tight alliance, this group of 3. The dragon has 3 heads. Okay.
I also, we get to sit 3 people at every immunity challenge now. That's really...
So Larry David basically has a seat there the entire time.
No question.
All right. Over at Akiva Beach, we have the strong alliance between Phoebe and Oscar the Grouch. And at Mike's tribe, we've got Lucille and Omar still strong. And then Lucy Ricardo and Walter White. Reward challenge. First reward of the season. And a win finally for the Rob tribe. They win chickens and a rooster. So Daenerys can feed her dragons. So chickens and a rooster.
Oh, wow. Peter's going to have a big problem with the dragons eating the chickens. I'll tell you right now.
All right.
There are as many fowl on the island as there are people on this tribe, so they're going to eat good.
Yes, they're going to eat well. Okay, immunity number 4. Here we go. Finally, the Rob tribe stops the bleeding. Maybe they had a chicken, and then Mike Bloom's tribe comes in second place, and Akiva is going to a tribal council for the first time this season. Akiva, is it possible your team threw the through the challenge, like when the Braun tribe tried to throw the challenge to get rid of Cliff Robinson?
The joke will be on them because the person who's on the outs, Lisa Turtle, as an idol, so they could be in big trouble for this.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Larry David put himself on the outs as well. So
also Michael Scott is on the outs, but we'll get to that. Okay, back on Rob Beach, Leslie Knope and Don Draper is really he may have the BDE going on, that he's got this relationship with.
I don't think it's E. I think it's what we've heard.
Yeah,
Leslie Knope and Don Draper have bonded, and also we have the bond between Don Draper and Daenerys. Okay. On Akiva Beach, Lisa Turtle has the idol, and we have a falling out between Oscar the Grouch and Phoebe Buffet. A weak alliance now.
Bad time to fall out right before their first tribal.
Okay. And then over on Mike Bloom Beach, Walter White has the idol, and we have some bad news for Lucille and Omar Little.
Oh, no.
They were tight. They were out. They were tight again, and now their alliance has completely dissolved. They are no longer.
It's so official that it's dissolved. Like, don't expect.
We're just flipping a switch on and off between the Lucille Little alliance. That it's just. I can't quit these two. They are everything to me right now.
All right, here we go. Tribal Council number 4. First Tribal Council for Team Akiva. Keeve, how do you predict it's going down tonight?
I think I maybe they got wind of Lisa Turtle's idol. I think LD's in big trouble.
Okay. Larry David. I think Michael Scott is going to be the first player voted out of this tribe.
Interesting.
Purple Scott is it's an interesting. I would not have expected. I thought he'd be one
Yeah,
of
well, the producers were expecting him to really be gold for like 6 weeks. This would be a big disappointment.
All right.
He's not getting to play another season if he gets voted out here.
Let's go and check out our votes here, okay? We have the Hidden Immunity Idol for Lisa Turtle is not played tonight, okay?
Wow.
Could be a mistake. She could go home with it in one of her many pockets on her 90s inspired blouse. Okay, here we go. First vote, Phoebe Buffet. Michael Scott. That's 1 vote Phoebe, 1 vote Michael Scott. Michael Scott. Michael Scott. That's 3 votes Michael Scott. Michael Scott, the tribe has spoken. It's a 5-1 vote against
At least the
Michael
tribe has
Scott.
No, God, please.
We really got
no.
very little. We got very little out of Michael Scott this season. It was pretty.
Wow.
All right, Michael Scott, boy. All right. So we can see we haven't looked at how the players are voted. So just to give you the reasoning here, Elaine voted for Michael Scott. She likes Michael less than Phoebe. That same for Larry David. Same for everybody. Michael voted for Phoebe. He's trying to stay safe. And Oscar the Grouch voted for Michael. He voted with the Alliance. So not a lot of
basically,
insight there.
The duo stuck together, and then the other two just didn't like Michael as much. So,
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw the worst qualities and the best qualities were not seen of Michael because we saw nothing of Michael. But now he's moved on to Colorado.
He's been transferred to another branch. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So the paper, though, that the parchment was made out of was from Dunder Mifflin. So it was a real ironic twist for Michael Scott. Okay. Let's get to episode number 5, where I think we're going to shake up the tribes, Mike.
Yeah, I'm excited. Although I don't know, you never know. Like usually you'd say, oh, these tribes have majorities. You know, I'm the one coming in with all 6, but I could get picked off. You never know in the game of Survivor, especially when twists are involved, and especially when with the volcano that is Omar and Lucille, if they end up on the same tribe together, I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, so we're going to go down to 2 tribes here and see how this shakes up, okay? People are going to pick out some buffs, and let's learn about our new tribe. We've actually dissolved the Akiva tribe, so we will be only having the Rob tribe and the Mike tribe moving forward. Sorry, Akiva.
What the hell?
All right, but the new Rob tribe here is Don Draper, Lisa Turtle from the Akiva tribe, Lucille Bluth, Marsha Brady from the Mike tribe, Omar. So Omar and Lucille do travel together.
Oh no!
And then Phoebe and Walter White. I almost want to say Mike White because it says Walter White Mike right there.
Well, they both do like to wear weird hats, so
yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Okay, so interesting breakdown. This is a 4-2-1 split where 4 people from the original Mike Bloom tribe in Lucille, Omar, Marsha, and Walter White. Walter White is separated from Lucy Ricardo, his former ride or die, the Jesse Pinkman of Survivor Peak TV.
Mr. White. Oh.
Mike has a straight out majority here, so I think Don and Lisa and Phoebe are in massive trouble.
But you never know because this could be like a co-wrong situation where like Don Draper gets picked up. I mean, we do also have 2 idols going on in Lisa and Walter.
And Marsha Brady has been completely anonymous.
She hasn't done anything, but they haven't been to a tribal yet, so hard to really say. And what could happen here is that Don Draper could work with the Mike Bloom tribe to pick off Lisa and Phoebe.
No, hopefully that will not happen.
Okay. All right. Let's check out what's going on the new Mike Bloom tribe, which is Daenerys Targaryen, Elaine Bennis, Homer Simpson, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy Ricardo, and Oscar the Grouch. So we end up with 3 Akivas, 2 Robs, and 2 Mikes here.
This is probably the more interesting scenario just because of the pure numbers of it all. I will say the more chaotic characters are on the other tribe. Hopefully this gives Larry a second chance to make good with a new group of people. Otherwise, he's going to be on the outs once again.
Yeah, and this is actually
Larry and Elaine still together also. I think that's really like a dangerous dynamic. Do the people here know like their backstory? Because I feel like that's a very
and don't think Oscar the Grouch won't throw them under the bus either.
Oh, Oscar the Grouch is
under the can.
Yeah. This alliance stinks. And then it was also interesting in this 3-2-2 split because I think that the 2-2s could come together and then have a majority against the 3.
Oh yeah, the Akivas really got the worst. If we did this 20 times, they couldn't have had a worse draw than they got right here.
Bad tribe swap for the Akiva tribe.
And they lost their island. I feel like Rob's team should have lost his island because he only had 3 people left. That's usually how it works.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Rumir camp.
Okay, let's go and check out the new alliances. Okay, so Don Draper, he is all by himself. Phoebe is all by herself. Walter White is all by himself. It's, we get into a little bit in the weeds in terms of like they show us alliances when the people are not together. All right, we have a new alliance. The old Akiva tribe members between Lisa and Phoebe are still an alliance. That they have a level 4 alliance.
That's so strong.
Okay. We have now Lucille and Omar. They could not keep it together when it was just them, but now bring in Marsha Brady and Walter White from the old Mike Bloom tribe, and they have a level 4 alliance.
Yeah, if anyone serves as like the great peacemaker, it is Marsha Brady. So I think that makes sense.
Guys, come on. Okay. Meanwhile, we have some new alliances forming over here, and
this is a bit confusing because when the person is not on the tribe, it shows in black and white, but the Lucy Ricardo picture is already in black and white.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the people that are currently in this tribe. All right. So Daenerys and Leslie Knope. They're both tight with Don Draper. They are a level 5 alliance. The former Akiva tribe of Elaine, Larry David, and Oscar the Grouch. They have a level 4 alliance. And that is all that's going on. Let's go to our first reward challenge with the new tribes. And the Mike Bloom tribe, the new Mike Bloom tribe, with Daenerys, Elaine, Homer, Larry David, Leslie, Lucille, and Lucy and Oscar. I think is Lucy already best survivor Lucy at this point, Mike?
I mean, by pure numbers, I suppose so. Though we haven't heard too much from her. I mean, we haven't heard her educate someone to shut up during a challenge. So it's tough to say. But yeah, I think this was the kicking and screaming challenge, which makes sense because between Homer Simpson and Oscar the Grouch, those are pretty like 2 immovable objects.
Okay, let's go to our immunity challenge.
They won coffee and pastries. Do you think Lucy took them off a conveyor belt?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, she stuffed them all down her shirt.
Okay, immunity challenge, and guess what? We have the Mike tribe winning immunity, and then they chanted "Top 5, baby! Top 5, baby!"
Okay. Homer chanted that.
Yeah. Homer does, not look completely dissimilar from Tony Vlachos, I will say.
I think so. I think there's a similar, because Tony won the first 4 immunity challenges, so did Homer Simpson. This might actually be a thing now.
Was the top 5 baby to the tune of Table 5?
Yeah, exactly. I think Oscar the Grouch also I think he legitimately is a challenge beast at this point. I think he
lost
it's
one challenge so far. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the beach as the RHAP tribe, the very unlucky RHAP tribe, is going to their 4th tribal council in 5 votes.
Orange buff. Are we surprised?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Lisa Turtle has an idol. What's Walter White up to? He also has an idol. No new idols are hidden on this beach. But Walter White and Lucille Bluth have a minor fight, Mike.
I mean, that makes sense. Lucille was not happy about, she felt that Walter should have been doing his certain services at a discounted price. He disagreed with her. They had a minor falling out about things. We'll see if that breaks apart the Mike tribe. If the majority has found a little crack the others can exploit.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have also going on, Larry David continues to isolate himself from the rest of the tribe.
Questionable strategy at this point.
Hey, we'll see. No tribal council for Larry David tonight. So let's go to our first tribal council of the swap tribes. And so one of Don Draper, Lisa Turtle, Lucille Bluth, Marsha Brady, Omar, Phoebe, or Walter White is going to be voted out of the tribe tonight. Keeve, do you have a pick?
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about Phoebe right now. I think Lisa Turtle's got the idol, so her odds of staying are a little better. Phoebe's in deep trouble here, I think.
Mike, could this be Lucille Bluth's night?
I'm thinking, Lucille Bluth has drawn a bit of comparisons to Natalie Cole from Survivor David versus Goliath. So I would not be surprised if they decide to not go Bloom strong and vote off Lucille here.
All right, let's get to our votes. Tribal Council number 5. We see Lisa is going to play the Akiva idol, and Walter White is going to play the Mike tribe, the Mike Bloom idol on Lucille. Okay, so
this
2
tribal's
idols played at this tribal council. An incredible, dramatic moment in this season. Lisa is playing the Akiva tribe idol on herself. Lisa Turtle cannot be voted out. Walter White is playing the idol on Lucille Bluth. Now, Mike, didn't Walter White just get into a fight with Lucille Bluth? Was that just for show?
Well, Walter White understands more than anyone how when you work in a business that depends on that hopefully results in your success, sometimes you need to begrudgingly work with people that are cogs in the machine. So whether or not he trusts her is one thing, but he knows that she's a necessary step for him to hopefully get to the top. But now I wonder, with 2 idols being played, could we get a no votes tribal count?
First vote. Lucille Bluth does not count.
Wow.
Lucille Bluth does not count. Phoebe.
Oh.
Phoebe. That's
Lisa!
2 votes, Phoebe.
Oh, you screwed it up, Lisa.
3 votes, Phoebe. The tribe has spoken. 5 votes in total for Phoebe Buffet. Let's see how it all went down. Boy, Keeve. Phoebe Buffet was looking like she was in a really good spot a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, this is a real fall from grace.
Real fall from grace. All right, Don Draper voted for Phoebe. Lisa Turtle voted for Lucille. She voted with the Akiva Tribe Alliance. Lucille voted for Phoebe. We see that Marsha Brady voted for Phoebe. Omar voted for Phoebe. Phoebe voted for Lucille. Walter White voted for Phoebe. All right, Mike, can you help us make sense of this? What happened?
So basically, it's what we were talking about before, that, there were these 4 Mike Bloom tribe people, and you had 3 Akiva plus RHAP people. Don Draper, ever the opportunist, decided to jump over with the Mike tribe and vote for Phoebe. And my assumption is that the Mike tribe, when you have such, complicated minds as Walter White, Omar Little, even Lucille Bluth, I think they were able to convince Lisa that she was in danger to play her idol on herself. And then instead, they actually threw the votes Phoebe's way to blindside her.
Wow, very complicated. And boy, Don Draper is looking like an early front runner here in this season. Maybe if people are not worried about him, that he could go far into this game. Let's go to episode number 6 here of this season. Just to update where we are, the Rob tribe is down to 6 people with Don Draper, Lisa Turtle, Lucille Bluth, Marsha Brady, Omar, and Mike White. Walter White. I see Walter White, Mike, and look, it's Survivor season, and I'm gonna say Mike White when I see that. All right, on the Mike Bloom tribe, Daenerys Targaryen, Elaine Bennis, Homer Simpson, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy Ricardo, and Oscar the Grouch. They are the final 13. Okay, one more tribal council here in these swap tribes, and then we'll get to the merge. Okay, all right. Here's where we are at with the alliances. The Mike Bloom Alliance is still at a level 4 over on the new Mike Bloom tribe. We have some alliances now. We got Leslie Knope and Daenerys, Elaine and Oscar the Grouch, and Homer Simpson and Lucy Ricardo.
So this is 3 pairs with Larry David as the outsider. So they could either all band together and vote him out, or it could be like a very pivotal key vote between all these groups.
Okay, let's go to the reward challenge, and we have the Mike tribe. Is that 3 challenges in a row for the new Mike Bloom tribe?
Yeah, these guys are outrageous. I mean, primarily you have to credit Oscar the Grouch here. But yeah,
challenge beast.
They get their sandwiches, chips, drinks, brownies, and letters from home, which I'm assuming everyone would want right now.
Who do you think Oscar the Grouch's letter from home is from?
That worm.
Wormy or whatever, slimy?
The worm? You don't think like Snuffleupagus or something?
No, the worm is his friend.
Okay.
All right.
Isn't Snuffy supposed to be fiction also?
It's questionable.
Don't people say he's fake? Like he's not, he's like a figment of everyone's imagination.
Save that for the Conspirapod.
Yeah, that's for the Conspirapod. That's the big one we're going to get into. Nothing.
Okay. Immunity challenge here for episode number 6. And guess what? The Mike tribe is steamrolling 4 challenges in a row. They win immunity. Let's go back to the beach.
So this is looking pretty bad for Lisa Turtle. You know, with Don Draper swinging along with the other former Mike Bloom tribe members, you'd have to assume that Lisa would be on the outs. No more idols in play for the rest of the pre-merge. I think she's in very, very, very clear danger right now.
Okay. No, Walter White is the danger. Okay. Let's keep going back to the beach. And oh no, after playing her idol, the behavior of Lisa Turtle is becoming appreciated around camp. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow, I didn't know she had that work ethic.
I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen on Brant Steele.
Brant Steele is constantly surprising us with every go round.
She is becoming appreciated around the camp. All right. Let's go to the other tribe. Elaine and Larry have a minor fight. I mean, that's par for the course.
Yeah. No, they don't even have to let us know about that.
Okay. All right. Rob Tribe, new Rob Tribe, back to Tribal Council. Now, Lisa Turtle was looking like somebody, Akiva, that could have been a target at this Tribal Council, but her work ethic is appreciated around camp. Does that mean that Don Draper, as the only other non-original Mike Bloom member, could be in trouble here?
Yeah, I think Draper is definitely the coming in the tribal. I don't know if he's the sort of like he's the obvious one to go, but I don't know if that's sort of a MacGuffin. I don't know if that's like a fake, and we're gonna get somebody else here.
Mike, with Don Draper here, last vote for the merge, doesn't this seem like a primo spot to take out Don Draper?
The problem is if you take him out, he's just going to come back and say he's Dick Whitman, and then you're sort of back at square one.
He would be so good at Tribal Council also with Don, tell me, how are you feeling tonight? Like, Jeff, this isn't an alliance. This is people coming together. Like, wow, that was really moving. That was well done.
Yeah, he would love the Tribal Council metaphors. Like, Tribal Council is like a big fishing net. We're all the fish involved swimming upstream trying to fight the current.
Yeah, and he's really one of the ultimate guys left who you cannot let get to the final three. You're in or the final two, I guess, this season.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let him get to the final.
He's a closer if he gets in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the votes. First vote, Marcia.
Ooh.
Lucille. That's one vote, Marcia. One vote, Lucille. Lucille. That's two votes,
Wow.
Lucille. One vote, Marcia. Marcia. We're
Where did
tied.
this come from?
2-2.
This is the most exciting vote of the season.
Lucille. That's three votes, Lucille. Two votes, Marcia. One vote left.
Is it going to be a tie?
Lucille, blue.
Wow.
A blind side.
Wow. Omar is not happy.
How did
He's
this
gonna-
happen?
Omar's happy. Omar's ecstatic. They
Well, it
left
depends
out
on the day. Depends
Wow.
on the day.
Walter
Down.
White played his idol on her at the last Tribal Council. Ultimately, that she did not have enough votes to go home, correct? Only two votes at that last Tribal Council. But
Yeah.
tonight is the night. Interestingly, Don Draper was one of the votes for Marcia Brady. But here's Lisa Turtle voting for Lucille. And Lucille also voted for Marcia Brady. And then Marcia Brady voted for Lucille. Omar voted for Lucille. And then even Walter White, who played an idol on Lucille at the last Tribal Council, really threw her off the scent, blindsides her at this Tribal Council.
So the fun thing is, Lucille, she's all about the affluent thing. So she came in with this giant fur coat. And Marcia has been feeling so cold tonight, they only put her in a bikini because they wanted the shots. And so she helped organize this vote against Lucille. And she asked her, can you give me this jacket? And Lucille said, I won't understand the question and I won't respond to it.
Okay. All right. We are headed to the merge, believe it or not, here in this Survivor. What are we calling this? Survivor? This is Insider Top 50?
This is Insider Presents Survivor Top TV Characters.
Okay. All right. So here we go to the big merge here. And let's talk about who is here at the merge. 12 people headed into this merge. Don Draper, Lisa Turtle, Marcia Brady, Omar, and Walter White are for the people coming in from the new Rob tribe and from the new Mike Bloom tribe. Daenerys, haven't talked about her in a minute. Elaine Bennis, Homer Simpson, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy Ricardo, and Oscar the Grouch. And we are headed to our big Survivor merge. And the Survivor merge feast is sponsored by one of our great sponsors, and those are the people at Graze.com. It's a merge feast provided by Graze.com. What is Graze.com, you might ask? A snack subscription service that delivers delicious, unique snacks to your work or home. And they've got a great offer for the listeners of Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast. Listeners will receive a 4-snack trial box when they sign up using the special promo code ROB. That's the free trial box that includes 4 top-rated snacks to give a little taste of the deliciousness that Graze has to offer. That they've sent me some of these. I've been trying a bunch of them, and Nicole is hoarding them so she can take them to work with her on the go. As a busy podcaster, very hard to get a quick snack. Akiva, that I like. I do like to snack, believe it or not.
Yeah, as an anti-food person, you just hate meals. You're okay with snacking.
No, snacking is great, and it's hard to find delicious and nutritious snacks, and that's where Graze comes in, because they send you a package that has all of the flavors that you're looking for from. Hold on. All the snacks are perfectly portioned great for on the go or treating yourself without overdoing it, from savory combinations to flapjacks and cookie dippers. Akiva, are you a cookie dipper?
I don't even know what that is. Are you talking about Dunkaroos?
No. This is cookie. This is cookies that you dip into things.
That's Dunkaroos. Do you not know what Dunkaroos are?
I know what it is, but we're not talking about that in this commercial, Akiva.
I know, but I'm saying it is. Oh, okay.
They have a vast variety of over 100 unique snack creations. That means there's always something new and different to try, like Snickerdoodle dip with cinnamon pretzel sticks, only 150 calories. I like that. And turtle pie, not Lisa turtle pie, with raw pecans, vanilla pumpkin seeds, salted caramel milk chocolate, and mini cocoa cookies. All great stuff. And this is what they're going to do. When you sign up and browse and rate the snacks, it helps them pick out a personalized box to suit your preferences. Each snack is also approved by their in-house nutritionist and has no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives, so you can feel good about what you're snacking on. So go to Graze.com, that's Graze.com now to get a free trial box that includes 4 of the top-rated and most delicious snacks. Use the special code ROB, that's Graze.com, with the promo code ROB for your free box. Okay, no neutral box here in this season. We're not doing worlds apart. It's time to see what's going on here at the merge, Mike.
I'm surprised that, I feel bad that we didn't pick the Grey's Anatomy envoy after hearing that Grey's was sponsoring this.
Yes. Actually, I said that we were headed to the merge here, but is it because that somebody quit here in the real Kagion episode 7? So I think that we actually had I think they had the merge feast early.
Okay, so they had a little like Millennials versus Gen X summit where they got to come back together. But then Jeff surprised everyone by saying you're breaking back into your tribes.
Right. So the confusion here is because Lindsay quit in Survivor Kagion. We had 2 people go home in 1 episode. And so they basically are going to give us an extra vote here with these tribes. We jumped the gun a little bit, but like
that's
Omar.
two more challenges for the Mike Bloom tribe to win, maybe.
Jumped Omar's gun here a little bit. All right. All right. So back at the new Rob tribe, Marsha Brady, Omar, and Walter White, who put the hit out on Lucille last night. They are an alliance level 4 strength. Meanwhile, over at the new Mike Bloom tribe, we still have Daenerys and Leslie Knope, Elaine and Oscar the Grouch. This is new, right? Oh, no. They had an alliance, yeah, and Larry David is on the outs. Elaine is used to dealing with grouches, so she is
also more into the alliance than Oscar.
Yeah, and Homer Simpson and Lucy Ricardo are working together as well, at least on a level 3 alliance. Okay. Here we go. Reward challenge. And finally, the Rob tribe gets off the schneid to win the reward. Steak, sausage, vegetables, condiments, and wine for the reward.
Oh, they won wine after they got rid of Lucille Bluth. I'm sure she's steaming.
Yeah, especially since the other 2 women on the tribe are underage, I think. Marsha Brady and Lisa Turtle can't drink.
Right. Out of this group, probably Don Draper, the only big drinker of the group.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Well, I mean, Omar might drink a little bit, but yeah, Walter White, not a drinker.
I saw Walter White get real tipsy once at a dinner party. Had some loose lips. Okay. All right. Then let's go to our immunity challenge, and guess what? The Mike Bloom tribe has won immunity again. A clean sweep here after the swap. 3 immunity wins in a row, sending the new Rob tribe back to tribal council. And with that alliance of 3 original Mike Bloom people, it looks like this could be maybe curtains for Don Draper or Lisa Turtle tonight.
Yeah, some might say online at the time, like, "Oh, is this like the splitting apart of the Mike Bloom tribe?" But it could just be a case where they decided, okay, we all don't like Lucille, let's vote together, and they're stronger because of that.
Okay, and just like that, we see Marsha Brady and Walter White have a major fight.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Walter might have tried to use his fatherly ways to sort of like discipline Marsha for the way she was behaving around camp, and she was not having it.
Yes, he had some advice about having a healthy breakfast. He's like, yeah, you're not my dad.
Or my stepdad.
Okay, let's go to see what's going on over on New Mike Bloom Beach. And Oscar the Grouch and Larry the David have a major fight as well. Akiva, we should have expected this.
Yeah, I don't even know what that fight looks like, but it sounds great.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Tribal Council number 7. We'll see if the Walter White and Marsha Brady fight could potentially change anything up. Mike, is it possible that Walter White was horsing around throwing the football around the camp and then carelessly hit Marsha Brady in the face?
Yes, she might actually have to get medevaced. Go see Dr. Joe, I don't know, I guess who's the plastic surgeon TV character? The kid, one of the guys from Nip Tuck is actually the resident medical expert on Survivor.
I think it's Tarzan from Survivor One World. I think he's
no.
the plastic surgeon on standby. Okay. All right. Let's no immunity idols, right?
Nope, they're all done for the pre-merge.
Okay.
Yeah, Don and Lisa really are going to regret having no immunity idols right now, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the votes. First vote, Lisa Turtle. That's 1 vote, Lisa. Second vote, Lisa Turtle. Marsha. That's 2 votes, Lisa. 1 vote, Marsha. Lisa Turtle, the tribe has spoken. Keeve, she had a good run. Big pre-merge character here, Lisa Turtle.
Yeah, a lot of screen time. She wasn't supposed to be here. She was sort of a last-minute cast member because someone else dropped out, and she got the nod. I think she's got to be happy with this.
Best Survivor, Lisa?
Oh, does she get? Is the Lisa Kiefer Award now the Lisa Turtle Award?
No, but the Lisa Kiefer Award is for
Somebody
the
who's not
most
supposed to be.
forgettable.
I'm surprised that we didn't have Blair from the Facts of Life on this.
Oh, yeah. She didn't make the cut. She didn't make the list. Okay. Boy, I got to ask this question. What are some of these really smart people like Marsha Brady and Omar and Walter White thinking, bringing Don Draper to the merge?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think Don Draper sold them a bill of goods. He said look, I'm with you to the end. There's only 3 of us from the Rob tribe. We're basically useless in the game. I can bring over Daenerys and we'll make a super group. Whether or not he holds true to that is one thing, but I think they just got bunkoed by him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So while in pre-swap, we saw 3 people from the Rob tribe go home. Post-swap, 3 tribal councils, no members of the Rob tribe went home, and ended up being 2 Akivas and a Mike Bloom who go out post-swap, pre-merge. Okay, finally, let's get to the merge feast. Now, they've already eaten a delicious merge feast sponsored by Graze.com, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, here come the Rob tribe, who ended up, in true Malolo fashion, ended up going to 6 of the 7 tribal councils for the merge.
Wow.
Wearing the orange buffs, I might add. Yeah.
It's usually not that one-sided in Brant Steele.
They were cursed. They were cursed. Okay, so it's Don Draper, Marsha Brady, Omar, Walter White coming in to this merge at 11 with Daenerys, Elaine, Homer Simpson, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy Ricardo, and Oscar the Grouch. Keeve, how are you feeling at the merge?
I mean, I think the 3 Mike guys from the Rob tribe, Walter White, Omar Little, and Marsha Brady, are really formidable right now. I think that's really who everyone has to have their eye on, because if Don Draper could sort of wrangle those guys up, that could be a nightmare.
Yeah. And now, how many original Mike Bloom people are still in the game? 5?
Yeah, I think it's
5-3-3.
Yeah, 5-3 or 5-4-3. Oh no. 5-3.
Oh yeah, there's 12 left, right?
No, 11.
No, I was
11.
right.
Yeah,
I was right.
I'll keep us right. 5-3-3. So theoretically, we could see much like Survivor Triple H, we could see Rob and Akiva members come together to vote out the Mike Bloom tribe members. They would have the numbers, but knowing how wily Don Draper is in particular and how detested Larry David is, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's talk about the merge. Oh, and the merge tribe is the RAANAP tribe. There we go. That is the merge tribe name, and they are wearing the black buffs. Okay. The orphan black buffs. Here we go. All right. Let's talk about our alliances. We have the original Rob tribe back together, level 7 alliance. We have from the original Mike Bloom tribe, we have Lucy Ricardo and Walter White at a level 3. Also, we have Walter White, Omar, and Marsha Brady, only a level 4, even though they voted together in a couple votes at the new Rob tribe. We have Daenerys Targaryen and Leslie Knope. They have a level 5 alliance. Elaine and Oscar, level 4 alliance. Homer Simpson and Lucy Ricardo with a slight alliance.
Homer, I think, has been the most under the radar guy of anybody who's
Purple
left
Homer.
the game.
Yeah,
Nothing.
very surprising considering that we might have gotten jerk ass Homer where he's a complete loudmouth, but I think when you're on a tribe with Larry David and Oscar the Grouch, you get a bit overshadowed when it comes to airtime.
There's a group representing the original Akiva tribe of Elaine, Larry David, and Oscar the Grouch with a level 5 alliance. And then there's the new Mike, or the original Mike tribe alliance is level 4. And then there's, basically everybody has a slight alliance with somebody at this point. All right, here we go. Immunity challenge. First immunity challenge win of the season goes to Leslie Knope.
That makes sense considering that one episode when she had to do when she had to do a stalemate in the city council, when she had to filibuster and she stayed up all night. She's going to be a beast in these immunity challenges.
Okay, so Leslie Knope wins individual immunity. Cannot vote for Leslie Knope. Let's go back to the beach and see what's going on. Daenerys has found the idol with special powers. Mike, is this the Tyler Perry idol?
Yes, Maester Perry has crafted this idol, and now Daenerys, believe it or not, has otherworldly powers that nobody else does.
Okay, so a Tyler Perry idol for Daenerys, which means that for the uninitiated, if she gets voted out with that idol in her possession, she can use it after the votes are read.
Yeah, and if you're thinking to yourself, wow, that sounds way too powerful, you're right.
Well, she has a lot of powers. Okay. She's the princess who was promised. Okay. All right. The queen stays queen. All right. So the Khaleesi stays Khaleesi. Now, here we go. The regular idol has not been found, but Oscar the Grouch and Lucille Ball, Lucy Ricardo, have a major fight.
Wow.
Big fight.
Well, I think
they're just doing it for TV time.
I don't know. Well, Lucy wanted to go play at the club, but Ricky let Oscar perform instead, and so she's pretty furious about that.
Okay, so Tribal Council number 1 after the merge. Mike, who do you think could go home?
This is going to be a big old mess. I'm going to say that the Mike Bloom tribe is going to stick together. I think they're going to get Don, Leslie, and Daenerys on board. I feel like we're possibly looking at a Larry David merge boot.
Larry David merge boot, Keith. Is that a possibility?
No. I really hope not, but I think he might be right. I think unless our threes somehow merge together, band together and start going after Mike's, we're in big trouble.
Merge vote, always exciting. 11 votes will be cast tonight. Okay. Daenerys has the idol with special powers, but we'll see if she gets voted out, if she uses it. Castaways all vote. First vote, Homer Simpson. Oh! Second vote, Don Draper. One vote Homer, 1 vote Don. Homer Simpson.
Interesting.
Daenerys Targaryen. That's 2 votes Homer. 1 vote Don Draper. 1 vote Daenerys Targaryen. Don Draper. That's 2 votes Homer. 2 votes Don. 1 vote Daenerys. Homer Simpson. That's 3 for Homer. 2 for Don. 1 for Daenerys. Don Draper. That's 3 votes Homer. 3 votes Don Draper. 1 vote Daenerys. Daenerys Targaryen. It's 3-3-2.
Oh,
Don Draper. That's 4 votes Don, 3 votes Homer, 2 votes Daenerys. Don Draper. The tribe has spoken.
Very smart vote on their part. They went after the right person.
Wow.
Yeah, but now he's on the jury, and he's going to be able to talk anyone.
Mayor of the
he's
jury.
the king of the jury. Yeah, no question. Mayor Ponderosa.
Okay, Mayor Ponderosa, let's talk about how it all went down. So we saw Daenerys and Don Draper voting for Homer Simpson. Okay, that makes sense. Then Elaine, Homer, Larry David. So the Akivas
Joined up. Yeah, the Akivas joined up with the Mikes, it looks like.
Yes. Leslie Nope, though, she jumped ship and voted for Homer.
No, she was with Don and Daenerys.
Ooh, this is getting confusing.
No, okay, all right. Sorry. Leslie Nope voted for Homer Simpson. And so it does. Is that what happened here? Omar voted for Daenerys. I'm not sure.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, I don't know why Oscar the Grouch is voting for Don Draper either.
Is it because it looks like we have a new Mike and Akiva alliance against all the Robs, and Walter White also threw a random vote for Daenerys. So Omar and Walter White had, I guess, another different plan. I guess they were fearing an idle play on Don, so they wanted to throw a couple.
Maybe they split the vote here. Is that what happened?
I mean, these are two of the smartest guys we have in the cast, so I guess that would make sense.
Okay, so Don Draper is out. Only Daenerys and Leslie Knope remain from the original Rob tribe. All right, here we go. Final 10. Let's get to the alliances at this hour. I think we're all pretty familiar with what's going on here. Let's get to our reward challenge. And so we see this group of 5 win a reward to the Outback Steakhouse. It is going to be...
Oh, wait, how? That's such a shame that Michael Scott's already gone before they go to...
No, that would have been Chili's or Applebee's.
That's true. No, there's Outback. I think, isn't there an Outback situation in the office?
Oh, I think it's a Meredith like sells herself out to get like Outback Steakhouse gift cards or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about what's going on here with this group that ultimately is going to go to the Outback. It's Daenerys Targaryen. It is Elaine Bennis. It is Omar. It is Leslie, and it is also Mr. Walter White. They are going to Outback Steakhouse.
Do you think Elaine is going to consistently do like the dingo ate your baby routine to all those servers at Outback?
Baby, the pineapple Ritas for all. Okay, let's go to our immunity challenge. And the winner of individual immunity is Oscar the Grouch.
It makes sense because isn't the challenge? This is one where you stand on the perch. Like he's totally set for this one.
Mm-hmm.
We all stand a challenge beast, Oscar the Grouch.
Yes,
he's the new Ozzy.
There you go.
Ozzy the Grouch.
Yes, Ozzy the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch.
Season 5 for us, Ozzy.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's go back to camp and talk about what's going on. Daenerys has the Tyler Perry idol. Walter White has found the regular idol.
Wow. 2 for 2 for Mr. White here.
Yeah. Okay. So good on.
Of course, a man would find both fake idols.
Fake idols.
Well, there's a fake. I mean, but the producers are furious that Daenerys has the idol. Let's be fair.
No. All right. So we have a new Mike Bloom Tribe Alliance, which is 7 people. They have all the power. It is Daenerys Targaryen, Elaine Bennis, Homer Simpson, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy Ricardo, Oscar the Grouch, the group that won all of those immunity challenges that they threw Don Draper under the bus. And now they are stuck together. They're working together. Actually, Daenerys didn't vote for Don Draper, but
it's a very strong alliance, and so then maybe Daenerys sort of like kowtowed back to them and said, like, look, I know I did bad getting in bed with Don, metaphorically, like we worked so well in those challenges together. What's to say we can't work well together, and in a strategic perspective as well.
The 7 here that we just talked about, Daenerys, Elaine, Homer, Larry David, Leslie Knope, Lucy, and Oscar Grouch, they are now a very strong alliance. So look for this 7 to stick together against the 3, which I believe the 3 are right now. It's Walter White, it is Omar, and who's the other person who's not
Marsha Brady.
Marsha Brady, yeah. So basically...
Definitely the ninja in terms of AJ Mass's characters.
Yes. So it looks like that the new Mike Bloom tribe is picking off the people that were on the swap to Rob tribe at this point. So it looks like Walter White, Omar, and Marsha Brady on the hot seat heading into this next vote. Okay. Walter White might be a good night to play his idol.
He does have a tendency to just sort of throw the idol willy-nilly like a nice little exploding capsule.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the vote here. Keeve, any thoughts on who it could be tonight?
Yeah, I think Walter White is probably on the chopping block, and if he first of all, we could at the 7 could and I say we because all 3 of my guys left are on the are on in the 7. could really split the votes and still come out ahead here. So I think Walter White is in major
Oh,
trouble.
interesting. A vote split. They could really outfox Walter
I don't
White.
know if Brant Steele does a lot of vote splits, but we have more than double the majority. So I think we're pretty set here.
Okay. All right. Walter White did not play the idol. We'll see if it comes back to cost him. First vote, Daenerys Targaryen.
Ooh.
Second vote, Daenerys Targaryen.
They don't know that she has the idol.
Oh, yeah. Homer Simpson. 2 votes Daenerys, 1 vote Homer. Daenerys Targaryen. That's 3 votes for
man.
Danny. 4 votes for Daenerys.
Are we going to see a Tyler Perry?
They just said that this is the strongest alliance ever.
Well,
and
she
now-
didn't vote with them last time, though.
Yeah,
4 votes
true.
Daenerys, 2 votes Homer. Daenerys Targaryen.
Homer is basically gone at this point.
Daenerys Targaryen, the tribe has spoken.
Oh, one of the great
Daenerys-
does of all time.
Plays the special idol, and from the fire, she is reborn.
Dracarys Homer Simpson.
Dracarys. And Homer Simpson is voted out.
I can only imagine
No.
what the Survivor Facebook page looks like after Homer's voted out with 2 votes against the
Look, think about it, like Homer is probably a casual favorite, right? He's a loving father.
Oh, the casuals love Homer Simpson. He's like a Midwestern guy, even though we don't know where Springfield
He's
is.
a blue collar man. He's worked
Oh,
so
yes.
many jobs in his lifetime.
Yes.
Yes, Khaleesi. Slay.
Oh my God. Yeah, Daenerys is going to say, my name is Daenerys Targaryen, and I just idled out Homer Simpson from This is Insider Presents Top TV Character.
What happened? What happened here? Daenerys was with the 7. They realized, though, that she was a tricky one. Daenerys voted for Homer.
Who voted with Daenerys against Homer is the question, because it looks like everyone else in the tribe, no matter what the alliance, came together to vote against
Leslie
her.
Knope, her old friend from the original Rob tribe, also voted for
Maybe
Homer.
a little bit of a hinky vote from Leslie Knope even.
Mm-hmm. So everybody voted for Daenerys, and only the witches, Leslie and Daenerys, they knocked out Homer Simpson. Kind of a waste of the Tyler Perry idol.
Daenerys
Yeah, no,
killed
you'd have to be happy, right? Like, I feel like they sort of everyone else got to be thrilled. No one else knew. Daenerys did not tell anybody about this idol.
I just can't believe we actually saw a successful use of the God idol in a fictional Survivor season.
Yeah, look, you know what? I think this is a case to have it in there because this was exciting.
Yeah, no, this would have been an amazing tribal council because Homer Simpson thinks he's safe. He's like, whew, that was close. And then this happens. And then major dough. One of the great does of all time. And
so the rule should be you're not allowed to say you have the Tyler Perry idol because it makes people not vote for you. But then this was a great moment that she got voted out, and it's like, think again.
I concur.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real Miranese knot as to like if she told them, then like they wouldn't vote for her. She really wanted to like
she misplayed
get them
it. She misplayed it.
Especially on Homer. Like, I do not think he was the kingpin compared to his bald brethren.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Homer Simpson, a quiet run. He is out. He joins Don Draper.
Is that why he didn't get a good edit? Is because the producers didn't want us like sympathizing with someone who gets idled out effectively?
Maybe. Turn us against him. Okay, we're down to the final 9 here. Okay, so Leslie Knope and Daenerys have the tight alliance. It'll be interesting to see if I guess that this alliance of 9 strength still includes Daenerys Targaryen somehow.
It's not a 10, so I guess that's the thing. But yeah, the question is like, are they so intimidated by Daenerys now that now they like supplicant to her? They call her Misa, and now she's like the leader of the alliance. Or do they instead decide to like gun for this power duo once again? It's sort of like the 3 amigos, where like their 9 lives are up now.
Okay, all right. Let's go to the reward challenge. And so Daenerys, Larry David, and Omar are going to the Survivor Spa.
Wow, that is a true HBO special also.
Oh my
3
God.
HBO characters right there going on.
I could not think of a better combination. Maybe if you include Oscar the Grouch in there, I could not think of a better group of people to go to this.
Braille Mary, get on this fan fiction. with Daenerys, Larry David and Omar.
All right. Let's go to our immunity challenge. Immunity, Larry David. The challenge was Jeff revealed a cycle of colored tiles to the castaways. Once this cycle is complete, the castaways would recite the pattern back. So in the memory challenge, Larry David wins immunity.
Did Spencer win this in real life?
I think Tasha did.
Tasha won it. Okay.
Good memory, Mike. Good job. You're a real Larry David.
Yeah, I'm just like Larry David as to colors.
Yes. Okay. Larry David cannot be voted out tonight. And so let's go back to the beach. And so we see that Walter White, he has the idol, no movement in the alliances. So, Mike, are we likely to see, now that Daenerys has played her Tyler Perry idol, that the same thing happens again where Daenerys, with nowhere to run, is ultimately cornered by the Akivas and Mikes?
You would think so. I could also see them going for Leslie Knope. Not only has she won an individual immunity before, but if they fear that Daenerys has found yet another trick up her sleeve, that Leslie would be the safer option. Sort of like what they did with getting Lisa Turtle to play her idol, then voting out Phoebe back during the pre-merge.
All right, let's get to the votes. Okay, so everybody votes. Walter White does not play his idol here at the final 9. First vote, Leslie Knope. Leslie.
Oh boy.
Leslie Knope. That's 3 votes for Leslie Knope. Leslie.
Wow.
Wow. Are the producers going to go nuts and give 5 votes in a row to somebody?
That's 4 votes, Leslie. 1 vote, Daenerys. Leslie Knope. The tribe
boy.
has spoken. Even
Did not see that coming.
Daenerys piled on and put her vote on Leslie Knope. Ultimate betrayal.
Wow. I mean, I guess it was yet another thing where they said, like, look, you two are on the bottom. One of you is going, so you have to turn on each other.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to these two, Daenerys is much more of a shrewd person than Leslie Knope is and was willing to turn no matter what.
Yes, and so Leslie is headed back to Pawnee after this vote.
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. So everybody put in their votes for Leslie. 8-1 vote at the final 9. Okay. All right. We're down to the final 8. So we're moving along here with the life after the merge. Let's talk about where we're at. Let's see. Any major alliances? We're still talking about that new Mike Bloom Tribe alliance with a level 9. Let's talk about the reward challenge. Check out this reward. The group of Omar, Daenerys, Marsha Brady, and Oscar the Grouch, they are going to go to a cave and have a barbecue lunch and get letters from home. How many letters does Oscar the Grouch need?
I don't know.
Maybe
He's
he
out of
just got
friends.
maybe he got ones that were thrown in the trash.
All right.
Can we just who's sending Daenerys her letter and who's sending Marsha Brady her letter?
I think her Daenerys's writers are sending, or maybe Dario might be sending her, or Jorah Mormont can be updating her on the whole grayscale front.
Yeah, that's exactly what she wants to worry about on Survivor.
Who's Omar getting a letter from?
Yeah, that's a good
I don't
question.
know. I mean, it could be his lover before his lover got killed.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Could
come
be
on,
from,
don't spoil the wire.
Could be Avon Barksdale just sending like a coded message.
Could be.
All right. Let's go to immunity challenge.
Jan
Oscar
Brady.
the Grouch has won immunity. He wins
listen.
hard to handle. Castaways must stand on an angled balance beam while balancing a ball at regular
Very
intervals.
easy if you're in a garbage can.
They move further down the beam, making it harder to keep steady.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of discussion going on the Survivor subreddit this week as to like what advantage does a man in a can have
Yeah,
during a lot of
true.
these immunity challenges.
Yeah, people are not happy with production.
All right.
I also think at this point you got to get Oscar out next time he loses immunity, or else he's just going to skate to the end.
You got to.
He's gonna roll to the
All
end.
right. Things are not looking so hot for Daenerys. Let's see if anything changes on the beach. Okay, we have a big fight between Omar and Lucy Ricardo. Could this change things up, Keeve?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to see this fight. I think this would have been a fun one. Omar's still waving his gun around in these pictures also.
Yeah, Lucy did not like Omar whistling the farmer in the dell because Lucy was trying to sing on her own, sweet Adeline, much to her own like screeching voice.
This is probably uncomfortable for Lucy. Like she famously even did not sleep in the same bed as her husband, and now she's got like 9 people snuggled up on her in a small shelter. Probably really not in her element.
All right. We are down to our final 8. Let's see what happens here. I mean, this is barring a miracle, Daenerys Targaryen. Unless the 7 is going to start to eat itself, maybe that Omar and Lucy Ricardo fight ends up looming large. Let's get to the votes. Walter White is playing his idol tonight, Mike.
Ooh,
Who
For himself?
interesting.
For himself. Do you think that Walter White has reason to be worried tonight?
I mean, he likes to know when there are hits out on him. Sometimes they turn out to be completely erroneous and he overblows the situation. This could be another Gale situation that might just completely have, spirals down into something much worse for him.
Okay. First vote, Walter White. Does not
maybe
count.
he sensed something.
He sensed.
Wow.
He sensed the danger. He was the danger. Okay. Second vote. Walter White
Wow.
does not
Wow.
count.
There was going to be a
this is
coup.
epic.
Walter White does not count. He sussed out a
Unbelievable.
blindside coming.
By the way, I
Walter
think
White.
this week is the live know-it-alls that we're watching.
Yes,
So
Mike
Yes.
Bloom is
Like,
like
people are
staring
going
at the
crazy
screen
right
right now.
now.
It
Yeah.
does not count. No votes yet. Walter White does not
unbelievable.
count.
He would have gone out.
Yeah,
oh
boy.
no. If this is Oscar's got is the only person who.
Yeah, but he has all the power. He could throw a vote just like any which way he
Yeah,
wants.
the question is, yeah,
Lucy Ricardo could go here.
who did Walter White put his vote
I'm
on?
gonna guess Elaine Bennis, who's been very quiet recently.
Okay. Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
Daenerys
smart.
Targaryen, the tribe has spoken. Wow. Okay, so Daenerys looks like she got something going. She got the miracle that she needed. She just picked the wrong target. Let's see how it all went down. So Daenerys got Elaine Bennis. She got Larry David. She got Lucy. She got
Wow.
she got a couple. She got an Akiva, a Mike. Marsha Brady voted with Walter White, and so did Omar. So the Marsha Brady, Omar, and Walter White alliance, they stuck together from the swapped Rob tribe to take the final original Rob member out of the season, the Rob goddess, and she is now out. Oscar the Grouch.
So there are no
voted
Robs
for-
left?
I believe that's
So
it.
there's
That's
five
all
mics.
she
There's
wrote.
4 mics and 3 Akivas remaining.
Yeah, it was a total wipeout for.
Yeah, you
Wow.
you basically were like akin to the beauty tribe who all got taken out during the post merge.
Yeah,
We'll give
look-
you our PayPal. We'll tell you where to send it.
Okay, all right.
Venmo that grand.
So we're here at the final 7, and we had that big new Mike Bloom tribe, and Daenerys. She was working with them, but they were able to the alliance of Omar and Walter White and Marsha Brady. They need an alliance, Akiva. What do you want to call them?
The Omar, which alliance? The
Omar, Walter White, and
Marsha.
Marsha Brady.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
gotta
What
be
is the name?
the MOWs.
The MOWs.
I do like that Walter, Omar, and Marsha have been together the whole time, the entire game. And Elaine, Larry, and Oscar have been together. And Lucy has been with all of them at various points.
Yeah, and she was the one who jumped ship on her fellow Mike Bloom.
Lucy could become a major swing vote here also.
Big swing vote at the final 7, potentially. So let's take a
I don't love the Akiva
or they can
tribe
come
chance.
together and say she's too much trouble. We don't know where her vote lies. Let's get rid of her.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
could be the 4th place queen also.
Let's talk about where the alliances are at this point. Lucy Ricardo and Walter White have something. The
Which
MOW.
surprises me because she voted for him last time.
Well, it's not a strong alliance.
It's
The
a 3
MOW alliance, they are at level 4 currently. Elaine and Oscar the Grouch are at level 4 currently. What is the former Akiva tribe members of Elaine, Larry David, and Oscar the Grouch, Akiva? What do you want to call them?
Seinfeld and Sesame, I call them.
Seinfeld and Sesame?
Yes.
Okay. And then the original Mike Bloom tribe, and then the swapped Mike Bloom tribe of Elaine, Larry David, Lucy, and Oscar the Grouch are still polling at a
So my
9
3,
strength.
that the strongest alliance is my 3 with Lucy. If we could flip Lucy, we win the game.
All right, let's see what happens.
And there's no idols left, right?
All right, we had the auction.
There might be another one that's hidden since
There might be hidden, but nobody has one
Yes.
yet.
All right. We had the auction. No news here. Okay, let's go to immunity challenge. And Marsha wins the
Unbelievable.
immunity challenge.
I think that's who she was in real danger of going home. So I think this was a very smart immunity win.
Okay.
Well
So
timed.
now we're looking at an Omar or a Walter White boot, unless Walter can pull something out, a Daenerys-like rise from the ashes. Otherwise,
Well, Lucy might not flip. Also, Lucy has
true.
possible votes with her original tribe.
Let's go to.
By the way,
beach.
I'm more invested in this right now, not just because I have $1,000 online, than a real Survivor season. I'm like right now, I'm like legitimately sweating.
All right. Akiva, I have some good
Mhm.
news that Elaine
Yes.
and Lucy Ricardo have bonded
Yes.
slightly. Girl talk.
That's all I need. It sounds unimportant, but that's all I need. If Elaine could get Lucy to feel like she is really not just in the core 4, but in the core 2,
Yeah.
and then Elaine is not going to take LD to the end, who she just absolutely slaughter in the final 2, I think we could do this.
All right.
does she deem Lucy sponge worthy?
I think she's
Well,
vote
I
worthy
don't
for
know
sure.
if that's the right. Could she spare a square of parchment for
That's
Elaine?
right. That's pretty good.
That's probably better. Okay. All right. Let's go to Tribal Council. Let's see. Does Lucy Ricardo end up voting with the Akivas here against Walter White and Omar? Huge Tribal
also
Council.
could have rocks coming up soon.
At the final
vote.
7. Okay, here we go. First vote, Oscar the Grouch.
No,
yeah,
no,
you were
don't
right,
do it.
Akiva. You have to gun for him. He's a challenge beast.
I know, but I
Elaine
don't. Come on.
Bennis.
What?
Ooh.
Who's splitting these votes?
Elaine Bennis. That's 2 votes for
Makes no
Elaine,
sense.
1 vote Oscar. Oscar the Grouch. That's 2 votes Elaine.
Why is everyone just voting for the Akivas? This
2
doesn't make
votes
sense.
Oscar.
Why? Oh, we have a 9
Oscar the
alliance.
Grouch. Elaine Bennis. That's 3 votes Elaine, 3 votes Oscar, 1
This
vote
makes
left.
No sense.
Oscar the Grouch. The
Wow.
tribe
Come
has
on.
spoken.
Oh, he was my winner pick. Come on.
Wow.
Oscar, he dominated the whole season.
They heeded your words, Akiva. Like final 7's much too soon to let someone,
Oh no, this was a good move strategically, but I really wanted to see Oscar the Grouch win this game.
Okay. Is it possible? Where did Lucy vote? Where did Lucy vote?
The whole thing makes no sense. Oscar and Elaine were like rock solid. Why'd they vote against each other?
I don't know.
Could it be like a gender split? Maybe the guys.
Let's see what happened here. So Elaine and Larry David, they voted against their Seinfeld and Sesame compatriot Oscar the Grouch. Then Lucy Ricardo did vote for Oscar the Grouch. She was vote number 3. Now, where is vote number 4 for Oscar the Grouch coming from? Is it Marsha Brady?
It could be Marsha, or it could be Omar or Walter White. We're not entirely sure.
So they had the majority and decided to vote out their own alliance member instead.
Okay. Marsha Brady voted for Elaine. Omar voted for Elaine.
Walter White?
Oscar the Grouch voted for Elaine, and Walter White voted out
What
Oscar
are you
the
doing,
Grouch.
Walter? Okay.
Wow.
I guess that's a good move by Walter White. He's a swing vote. But
So this is really
bananas.
interesting. This is really interesting.
No,
So,
it's insane. Everyone, whoever's the winner here, other than Walter White, is a below average winner. I'm telling you right now.
okay.
Colin Stone is going to be wrecking these people.
So Walter White flips against Omar and Marsha Brady to vote out Elaine.
Yeah, so I guess the power, like they thought the power duo of Larry of Oscar and Elaine would like go over to the MOW alliance, but Walter White felt like he got a better deal. Now, since Walter White does sort of take something from the people that he kills, does that mean he's going to be like walking around with a trash can lid from now on in his head?
Do they get to keep his trash can to keep themselves warm?
Yeah, it's really interesting because I wonder if maybe the Mike Blooms flipped Oscar the Grouch against Elaine.
Yeah.
And then that set
Maybe
off
we
a
didn't
chain
see
reaction where then they not only, officially flipped Lucy Ricardo. Here's what happened. So Lucy Ricardo flipped over, and then Oscar the Grouch is like, well, F this. I don't like Lucy.
Yeah.
He flipped back over to the Mike Bloom side, and then Walter White was like, well, I don't want to work with Oscar the Grouch.
A triple flip.
Triple
I like
flip.
this. But by the way, a poorly edited by Brant Steele episode because we could have seen some of this coming.
Yeah, all these votes, we totally thought. And I will also say, Walter White slowly becoming the chaos Cass of this season.
Oh yeah. No, I would say right now he's going to get crushed in a final 2, but I would get him out now. Just
Player
out
of the
spite.
season, maybe, so far. All right. So Elaine Bennis and Larry David still are there, original Akiva Tribe members. So is Lucy Ricardo, Marsha Brady flying under the radar, Omar and Walter White at the final 6 here in Survivor. This is Insider TV top 50 characters of all
By
time.
the way, we're not giving them the plug in the actual title on iTunes. We got to come up with something better.
All right. Here are the alliances. Lucy Ricardo and Walter White. They voted together against Oscar the Grouch at the last tribal council. The MOW alliance is still formed here technically with a level 4. The Grouches, Elaine and Larry David that voted against Oscar.
Did they name their alliance after posthumously now they lost Oscar the Grouch?
No, I guess they're just Seinfeld. They're Seinfeld. No more Seinfeld and Sesame. And then we need Nick Wilson on the line for the next one of these that we do. And then the original Mike Bloom tribe 4 is there. And then the new Mike Bloom, the swap Mike Bloom tribe.
Despite being 9 strength, these people all keep taking each other out.
Yeah. I'd say anything below 10 is an irrelevant alliance at this point.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the reward challenge. And we see that Lucy, Walter White, and Marsha Brady win a reward. They get to bring school supplies to kids along with hamburgers and hot dogs.
I think it was this like Wu Spencer and
Then Cass.
Cass. Okay.
But I can't. Walter White was gonna be like chemistry supplies there.
Watch out, kids. All right.
Who do you think did the basketball tricks?
Oh, I
of
think
those
I
three?
think it was Marsha Brady. with the
Marsha Brady
football.
did the football tricks.
Okay.
All right. Walter White has won immunity.
Wow, Walter White. This might be his like time to shine now. That was all the big
I
dogs.
knew everyone knew. Like the edit was like, oh, everyone was just talking about how we're getting Walter White out this episode, and then it's like, okay, the version because he won. Now we got to.
Which I'm surprised that Larry David's good at memory. You'd think he'd be good at counting.
Yeah, he was feeling the heat from 4 seasons of Better Call Saul, so he's rejuvenated by the talks of a Breaking Bad movie. Okay. All right, let's go back to the beach. You cannot vote out Walter White. A huge immunity win for Walter White, who very well could have been on the chopping block at this vote. All right, back at the beach, Marsha Brady and Lucy Ricardo bond slightly. Mike, what did they bond over?
Probably times aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, the two oldest shows left on the cat for sure. Maybe I think the two oldest
all
shows
this
in the
vulgarity,
cast. All right.
all the racist thing that we did was, brought on had a sleep with a Latin American man on television. Like this is nothing nowadays.
Okay.
So those were the days, to quote a person who got left off of the chopping block.
All right, Tribal Council, here we go at the final 6. No idols in play, I don't believe, at this Tribal Council. First vote, Marsha Brady. Lucy. Oh, the two people that bonded.
Yeah, they were literally voting against each other.
Marsha Brady. That's 2 votes Marsha, 1 vote Lucy.
Will we see a Marsha?
Lucy. Marsha or Lucy could be going home.
Could be going to rocks.
Elaine. Bennis.
What? Are we
Three-way
going to
tie.
rocks?
Three-way tie. Three-way
That is
tie.
a wild.
Marsha
No.
Brady.
Oh,
Wow.
The 3-2-1.
A 3-2-1.
Don't see
How
that
did
often
this
in
all
play.
come together?
Oh man.
Elaine Bennis voted for Marsha. So did Larry David. So Seinfeld voted against Marsha Brady. Lucy Ricardo.
They finally voted together.
She was bonding with Marsha Brady, and then she voted against her. But Marsha Brady voted for Lucy. So did Omar. But Walter White
doing?
cast the rogue vote for Elaine Bennis.
Do you think he admits to the rogue vote?
Hinky vote. I think everybody kind of knows where they
No,
stand,
he
right?
blames it on Gus Fring.
Yeah. Can we talk about something for a second?
Yeah.
Lucy Ricardo is playing a hell of a game. I feel like she has some real winner potential with 5 people left. Like we have to start.
She's jumping around everywhere, and nobody.
But she's playing an absolutely wild chicken without their head, like almost Tony if he didn't have the God Idol. Like I think this is no joke. Lucy is a great player. She's like an old school Kim Spradlin.
Here we go. Final 5. It is Elaine Bennis and Larry David, Akiva's top 2 picks, I believe. Then Lucy Ricardo, Omar, and Mr. Walter White. So some real, a real who's who here at the final 5.
Yeah, there's no everyone left. Everyone here is an iconic, like legendary television character.
All right.
Or plays himself on an HBO comedy.
All right. Alliance time. Lucy and Walter White. Omar and Walter White. Boy, the Omar and Walter White, name me a more iconic pair. I'll wait.
Yeah, for sure. And you thought it would have come to a head a million years ago, and they're still going strong.
Okay.
You thought it would,
Even though they're not voting for this.
I think basically I thought what was going to happen to Omar and Walter White happened to Don Draper and Tony Soprano. Battles of the peak TV anti-heroes.
Yeah. Omar and Walter White, are they a day 1 alliance, Mike?
I'm pretty sure they are.
They're like the new JT and Steven.
He's just a science teacher from New Mexico, and he's a street thug from Baltimore.
Although this happens to be the, kind of like pairing that Walter White seeks out, where he sort of is looking for a street tough.
Yeah, I know to cook. You know how to use a gun.
All right. Seinfeld Alliance still going strong. And then the original Mike Bloom tribe of Lucy, Omar, and Walter White. And then Lucy is look at this at the final 5 here.
Yeah.
There's the 2-person alliance with Omar and Walter White. They've got a final 3 with Lucy. And then the Seinfeld people with Elaine and Larry David, they have a final 3 with Lucy Ricardo.
Yeah. Could they
Amazing.
cut the middle person and have an Omar and Walter versus the Seinfelders in the final 4?
Boy. This is all going to come down to what does Lucy Ricardo want to do tonight?
Yeah.
Does she want to be in the show in the final 5 with these 2 or these 2? Okay. Larry David
And
cannot
remember,
be
we
voted
still have a the family's coming after this episode.
out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, after all those letters.
All right. Larry David wins his second immunity challenge of the season in the reward challenge, the mud run. He covered himself up in the most mud.
Yeah.
And he
I'm
got a
surprised I
pizza.
even want to do that. I think you have a problem with mud.
And listen to this. He got to pick one person to go with him on the pizza
so
reward.
smooth by LD.
And he picks Lucy.
Yeah, what a smart move. There's no choice. You have to pick Lucy. Now, do you think Elaine, you get the confessional from Elaine saying, I really wish he had picked me. I know like it's strategically smart, but I wanted that pizza.
Yeah, she's like, he could have
Yeah.
picked me. I mean, it wouldn't kill him to pick me.
Yeah.
All right. I guess everybody loves Lucy. Okay. Let's go to the immunity challenge. And Omar has won immunity here. So Omar cannot be voted out tonight.
Walter White, I think the bell is starting to toll for thee.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Tuco's.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is Hector Salamanca.
Hit that
Okay.
10 times.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our back to the beach. Back on the beach. Nothing happened. All right.
No idol, which means there's no idol in the game anymore.
So it's all going to come down to what does Lucy Ricardo want to do? Larry David plied her with pizza, a pizza conveyor belt going into her mouth. All right.
I'd say everyone's on the chopping block. All 4 people who don't have immunity could go home right now.
I don't know. I feel like nobody's coming for Larry. Maybe they realize that Larry has go-potential, but like
Yeah.
I think that he's reasonably safe, but I could see Elaine, Lucy, or Walter going at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
Remember, Elaine might be mad about this reward challenge. We don't know.
Let's go ahead and get to the votes here at the final 5. First vote, Walter White, as expected, to get at least a vote. Lucy Ricardo.
Whoa!
Walter White. That's 2 votes, Walter. 1 vote, Lucy. Lucy Ricardo. That's 2 votes, Walter.
This is one of the most suspenseful moments in the history of
2
Survivor. Real or
votes,
fake.
Lucy. 1 vote left.
Who could it be?
Walter White, the tribe has
Oh,
spoken.
okay. Smart move by the
wow.
players.
Yeah, I mean, he was dodging the crosshairs
Yeah.
for such a long amount of time, but finally they gunned him down
Yeah.
and he's lying, bleeding.
Spoiler, Mike. Oh, you're talking about Survivor. Okay.
Yeah. I think Omar and Walter White went to Larry David and to Elaine and said, hey, why don't we just get this Lucy Ricardo out of the way? She's a flip-flopper. She's playing both sides. But Lucy ends up sticking with the Seinfeld alliance, and she votes out Walter White at the final 5.
Wow, and he misses out on his family visit. And
What does Lucy think? I mean, I guess now she could flip back to Omar at the final 4. But does Lucy really think that she's splitting up Elaine and LD? Like, this was her chance, I think, to get out LD.
Hey, don't forget, this season is a final 2.
Yeah, but I think Lucy could worm her way into the final 3 and legitimately, if she loses that immunity, make the pitch of like, look, we have to fight this out like warriors, Elaine.
Sure.
Nobody wants to go to the finals with Larry David. Like, we need to.
Yeah.
We need to
Everyone's mad at me. I flip-flopped all game. Take me and you'll win. But then she smokes her.
I'm
Right.
totally with you, Akiva. I think she's playing by far one of the best simulated Survivor games I've ever seen.
No question.
Wow.
Are we
Wow.
going to have like a Champions Edition once of like all the winners from all the?
Yeah,
I think we need to do that.
I don't know. All right, we'll hold that thought. We'll hold that thought.
Joe.
Put it
I
on the
mean, you have
wheel.
to-
Yeah,
Mike, I'll email you some Joe Flacco jokes. 'Cause
Yeah.
he won the-
Did he win? All right, we got to
Yeah,
get
he
through
won.
16 of them, and then we'll have all the winners come
Yeah.
back. All right. Then here we are at the final 4. Is it possible now? Is Lucy going to flip to work with Omar, Mike? Do you see
Yeah,
that as that a
that's-
possibility?
the big possibility.
I don't think so. I think she's like fully on board with Elaine and Larry, especially since Omar voted against her. Like, I just don't think she would have any. I think she's in square with these two. I think Omar needs to win this immunity right now, unless he's able to convince Larry to deviate. But I feel like Lucy's in thick with Elaine.
Okay. Let's go to our alliances. Seinfeld alliance is a thing. Omar and Lucy have a level 5 alliance, and then final 3 deal, Elaine, Larry David, and Lucy. Let's go to immunity. Larry David wins his second immunity now for real. And now he goes up there. He stands with to fill up the buckets of water, and he completes the puzzle, much like Chaos Cast did. He wins immunity at the final 4.
Now, did they skip the family visit,
No,
or I guess that was
no,
just
the
they
family
just
members
watched
came-
immunity?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
just
just
came and watched.
So
Because
perhaps
who do you think
Larry
who
was
is LD's a loved one because he's divorced from Cheryl, or is this before he's divorced?
No, it's got to be Leon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leon is a great. I mean, that's TV gold. They flew them out there like, oh, we need Leon.
While
But
Leon's like snacking on craft services. While
does Elaine get Jerry or does Elaine get Putty?
Who would come? Who would?
Well, do you think Putty came when he paint himself? Since he's so into like the devils.
His tribe colors or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long ride out to Cagayan. What's that? Samoa?
Yeah, and then it was George mad if Elaine if Jerry gets the calls like, oh, you always get to be the family visit guy, never me.
Yeah,
we've never met. We don't meet Elaine's mom, so that would be exciting if we saw her. Her dad
hopefully not her dad. Her dad's a little bit of a
yeah, no, we don't want to see her dad.
All right, let's go back to the beach and talk about what's going on here. Elaine's behavior is becoming appreciated around the camp.
That
So
sounds
Elaine,
like a curse.
Yeah,
That's not good.
Well, I mean,
wanna be a
Elaine
threat at
was
this
she had since they had gotten bored and they had expended all their wardrobe options. She's now come up with like the urban buff to don in the J. Peterman catalog.
Yeah, but the buff is like a little displaced, and people maybe see a little bit more than they were supposed to.
Yeah, Lisa Turtle had gotten this earlier in the season. I believe she was voted out at the following tribal council, so it doesn't go that far here at the final four. Everybody has their eyes on the prize. Okay, tribal council at the final four. Here we go.
Oh,
First
boy.
vote.
They're going to come for the king.
Lucy. Second vote. Elaine.
Wow.
Elaine.
Not what?
That's
Why?
2 votes Elaine, 1 vote Lucy. Lucy, we have a tie.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Lucy flipped to vote with Omar, I presume.
She realizes the error of her ways too late, but I get it.
This woman's playing a ridiculous game.
This is ridiculous. Chicken
She
without a
voted
head.
out Walter White to then take his place, force this 2-2 tie.
Drinking
All right.
too much Vitamin Vegemin out here.
Okay, let's see how Brant Steele is going to handle this. Okay. All right. So Lucy and Elaine, okay? There will be a revote. We'll have a revote first. Okay,
So we
here
can
is
see
the
if Larry David or Omar switches their vote, then it's curtains for one of them.
Okay. So only 2 people will vote. Only Larry David and Omar. Okay. First vote, Lucy. Lucy. Oh,
Unbelievable.
Wow!
Omar.
Omar is
Omar
not
says, I got the last laugh.
What? Omar, why'd you do that?
Yeah,
What was
because
in it for him?
you kind of feel like let them go to make a fire here.
Yeah, don't tease them along, Omar.
At this point, I mean, what do you have to lose? But maybe he feels like that he can beat out Larry David. I mean, this is his big move. Or maybe he's mad from, Omar is a vengeful guy. Maybe he's mad from the Walter White thing.
That's true. He sort of was like, he's on one broken leg right now, strategically speaking, but he's able to like hobble his way and get that last brain bullet in the chamber towards Lucy.
Okay, let's see how these castaways voted. Maybe we get some insight. Okay, so we see that Larry and Elaine both voted for Lucy, and then Lucy voted for Elaine, and then he only switched to avoid a tie. So Omar seems
Omar, you weren't in trouble.
There's no logic in
yeah,
that.
he seems to not have a clear understanding of the rules, Omar. But
That's
maybe
very
What a recruit.
Unless he's a
That's why we
big
don't recruit
survivor.
people.
Yeah.
all right.
Elaine is a day one fan.
All right, let's go to the final 3. And Akiva,
Yeah.
who could have thought that Elaine, Larry David, and Omar would make up our final 3?
No, nobody. Nobody saw this coming.
What an unlikely final 3. Let's talk about the alliance.
I mean, they really, in hindsight, like the only 2 people who really had this strong of a bond, Elaine and LD should have been split up. They should have been throwing tribals. They should have been throwing challenges pre-merge to split these 2. This is insane.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll look back.
Do we know how Elaine did on the fake Big Brother season we did?
I don't remember.
I know Kramer won. Sorry, spoiler alert. I think Elaine did well. I think Jerry and George went out early, and Elaine did well, like final 4-ish. But
all right.
I'm not sure.
We're going to the final 2 this season. Remember, this is Cagayan.
Yes.
So we will have one more immunity challenge, and then the winner of the immunity challenge will pick who gets to sit next to them. Will somebody make as big of a gaffe as Wu did once upon a time in the
And
real
it's a
Survivor
Mike-heavy
Cagayan?
jury, right? So if Omar could somehow make his way into the final 2, he's really sitting pretty.
It's a steep hill, though.
Just to talk this through, Akiva, could you rank these 3 in terms of who has the best standing with the jury?
I stand with jury. Well, Omar, I just think from familiarity with the mics. I think Elaine over LD. She seemed to be making bonds. People really appreciated her behavior around camp at the Final Four. LD is a curmudgeon who could you imagine living with Larry for 39 days? It sounds like a night.
You got to bring Larry David to the final too. If you
Yes,
can.
everyone. Larry David is the GOAT here. Omar and Elaine are real live.
Is that what Elaine was doing, Mike? Was she dragging Larry David to the
Yes.
final two the whole time?
Completely. I mean, she was basically, much like she dated guys to use them for certain things, she has been courting Larry David to use him as an easy opponent.
You are just the kind of person that I want to go to the end with.
Also, LD is like a zillionaire. Elaine is a regular middle class person. Omar robs people for money. I feel like why would you give Larry another $1 million?
Okay. All right. And he'll be very salty in his final two speech, I think also.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll do well under the jury questioning.
No way. No way.
All right. Let's go to the alliances on the beach. The only alliance in the game is the Seinfeld alliance between Elaine and Larry David. So the winner of the final immunity challenge here in Survivor, this is Insider TV Top 50, is Larry David.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Larry David, he's won like 3 immunity
He's
challenges.
won 3 immunities and an individual reward, I believe.
I know we have to start talking. Like, Larry has a real decision to make here.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to take Elaine. She should beat him. Whereas, like, Omar, you'd think, like, okay, Omar has more people on the jury who know him, but also, like, has Omar really done enough in this game? Other than sort of
he may lose either way. Maybe take Elaine.
Yeah.
Who I think that, in fairness, I think Elaine has less big moves.
Well, I think you can also say, like, look, if anyone's mad at me for the decisions that I make, they have to be mad at Elaine as well, since we made all the same decisions together.
Yeah, here's what it comes down to. I think Elaine's played the better social game. She's been appreciated by the people around the camp. She's made more bonds, where Omar has probably played the flashier strategic game. Made more enemies. I think you take Omar.
Now, also the question is, who do you think is more likely to poison the jury against Larry David? Not that it's needed.
Elaine. She's gonna go back to Ponderosa, open up the peach schnapps tonight, and then let all of Larry's secrets out of the vault.
And get her ear
Did they
pierced.
get a day? Did Tony and Wu get a day, or did they go straight to the vote?
They had a day. So, like, you could argue that Cass had some input, but I agree. I think that's another reason to get rid of Omar, is Omar will probably be the least bitter juror. He'll just sort of like say, that's the business, and then, saddle up his shotgun and whistle as he walks off.
Okay. Let's go back to the beach and see what's going on here. Nothing happening. No fights.
Yeah, that's pretty typical of a Survivor season. There's 3 people left. Nothing's happening.
All
All
right.
right. Let's say goodbye to Omar here. That's what I'm thinking.
And it is Omar. He gets a 1 vote. Larry is taking Elaine to the end. And how do you like this, Akiva? That maybe it was the sort of the synergy of This Is Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast that somehow the
this is
unlikeliest final 2 ever of
or
Elaine,
the most likely.
Elaine and Larry David have somehow navigated through a sea of TV. This is Insider TV's most iconic characters to get to the final 2.
Yeah, a lot of legends have been slayed on the way here.
Okay. Mike, is Omar due for an all-star appearance?
Oh, absolutely. I think that if we're talking about like a second chances type of thing, he is ready to say that, the reason why he lost was, the reason why he lost is because he didn't let Lucy Ricardo go to fire making.
Yeah. Oh, he made the Wu-esque decision.
Major blunder. I mean, who knows if it was Elaine versus Lucy in making a fire. I don't know if Elaine necessarily has that skill set.
Yeah, I also know I'd say Lucy Ricardo and Daenerys are also locks to return.
And Walter White.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to our final tribal council. Okay. Are we have Elaine and Larry ready to face the jury?
I mean, Elaine has had problems facing a jury beforehand. Do we think that's going to come
true?
back?
That's true.
All right, Mike, if I hit proceed to the reunion show, is it going to give us the winner?
No, it is going to say that. I think it's going to say that like the people vote, and I think then it'll say proceed to the final vote or something.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna try to see if I can make this where we see as little as possible, where I can still go to the next thing. Okay, all right. Proceed to the reunion show. Let's see what we get. All right, the final 2, Elaine and Larry David. Could we just? Is there anything else that we haven't said about the games of this respective pair, Elaine and Larry David?
Well, let's think about this. I mean, I don't know if we know on hand who's on the jury, but who do we think is like locks either way?
Okay. I mean, I think we know who's on the jury. I believe it was Don Draper.
Let's start with Don Draper. Do we think that? I mean, neither one of them were on. He didn't really have interaction with either one of them pre-merge.
He's a wild card. Who went out after Don Draper? Was that Homer Simpson?
Homer Simpson with his 2 votes.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on a tribe with both of them. He might respect the bald with Larry David.
Mm-hmm. And then it was Leslie Knope, who I don't know if she has any connection to either of them.
Yeah, I could see her voting for Elaine. Oscar, it's tricky because he was really in alliance with both of them, and then it just blew up.
Yeah,
I feel like Oscar would vote for Elaine because I didn't like her and him have like the closest, like they had a connection.
Yes, but it sort of died out at the end. Did she vote against him?
Oh yeah, they did.
Right?
They did vote against him. That's true.
Those two versus each other.
Yeah.
What about? I feel like the Daenerys and Leslie pairing is gonna bear a lot of weight here.
Yeah, they may be pro woman on the jury though.
Yeah, and Oscar and Larry are such curmudgeons. I feel like curmudgeon times curmudgeon.
Yeah, but Seinfeld and Sesame turned on him, so but they both did, so that'll be interesting. Marsha Brady. Did Marsha Brady have a bond with Elaine?
Yeah, Marsha had a bond with. You know, she did have a bond with Elaine.
She had a bond with Lucy.
Oh, no, with Lucy. That's what it was.
Yeah, she's a wild card. She had very little interaction with the Seinfeld and Sesame.
And then we have Walter White, Lucy, and Omar.
I think they might respect Elaine more than Larry.
I mean, Larry did win 3 immunity challenges. He did vote out Omar. He at that final 3 tribal council. Let's see what the jury.
I mean, is there a way for Omar to sort of justify his vote if one of these results happens? Like you can say, like, "Oh, well, Elaine was going to win anyway," or
they always find a way to justify it.
True.
Okay,
I'd like to hear Omar's exit interview with Rob the next time.
we'll do a long form interview. I'll see if he's available. Okay, and the winner
in studio
reveal
Omar comes in with his gun, and Nicole's downstairs letting him in.
Okay, let's go to our winner reveal.
Woohoo!
And the winner.
What?
By a vote of 9 to 0.
What is it?
Larry David.
How did this happen? A unanimous vote.
Somebody screenshot this. Larry wins by a vote of 9 to 0. Akiva, should this be the Curb Your Enthusiasm series finale?
Honestly, if we could get, I'm going to be very serious. I'm going to, like 100%, like me, Rob, and Mike, just like writing a fan fiction season of Survivor where LD's just on Survivor the whole time would be better than whatever season 10 of Curb is. We almost like have to get to like, we had some Seinfeld writers who would like listen or were like aware of us. I don't know if we could like get this to them, and it might be too late. They've been filming for a while. This is gold, like for LD.
That would actually be very funny of somehow if Larry David competed on. Did one of those like Ricky Gervais shows do this, Mike?
I don't know if they did something specific.
But what if you commit to a bit of like 10 episodes? That would be bananas. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be a very funny final season.
This is insane. This is a man who pissed off every single iteration of a tribe he's been on, and he wins unanimously.
Unanimously. Let's see how each juror voted. Let's see how.
Well, we know how they voted.
Okay. So here's the reasoning. So Don Draper voted for Larry David. He felt that Larry deserved to win because he won a lot of immunity challenges.
That makes him sound like he's a recruit, Don Draper. He respects the immunity challenges too much.
Okay. Homer Simpson. He felt that Larry won all the immunity challenges. Okay.
Yeah. Homer definitely.
Like a Mike Holloway victory here.
Basically.
Yeah. Leslie Knope felt the same way. That Daenerys felt like it really seems like it came down to the strength in the challenges.
We didn't really factor those in. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why did Oscar the Grouch vote for Larry?
That he won the challenges. Okay. So Marsha Brady said she voted for Larry because he had the more balanced game.
Okay, which also means he won the challenges.
I think that's coded to say that he won more challenges.
He won the challenges.
Walter White said Larry had a balanced game, and Lucy said he had the balanced game, and Omar felt like he had the most balanced game. But who was the fan favorite of the season?
I think Daenerys.
No, I'm
But
going to say, I
Lucy.
think it might be Lucy.
Everybody loves
Lucy's
Lucy.
up
Everybody loves
there.
Lucy.
Like, it depends when the voting
Leslie
started.
Knope was the fan
Oh,
favorite.
that's crazy. We barely mentioned her the
Wow.
whole
Ben
season.
Wyatt, like, I don't
A
know.
UTR in it.
There must have been some sort of Jerry in the CBS control studio that screwed
No
up all
question.
the other votes.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. The Pawnee fans are really, the Parks and Rec fans are flooding the CBS phone lines. It makes no sense.
Okay, let's go to the statistics for the season. The winner was Larry David, and what a season it was with all of these iconic characters. Do you think they talked to any of the pre-jury members at the reunion show, Akiva?
Oh, I don't think Spock's even on. First of all, Spock took a picture with Olivia Pope.
Oh,
During the season. It was on TMZ, and it said "F it," and people were very mad about that.
Tony
and everyone's
Soprano showed up drunk.
Using hashtag Spope. Lucille took her time to like pimp out her new Bluth restaurant venture.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like drinking branded vodka on stage.
Mike, who's the person that Jeff should have not that much business talking to, but Jeff gives like 6 questions to at the reunion show?
Oh, it's got to be Don Draper.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
they're like, Don,
I
you're
agree.
such a
Yeah.
good
All
talker.
right, Don. All right, I gotta go to this guy. Look at this guy, movie star looks. Don Draper.
DE. I mean,
What's it like being you?
Yeah.
Don, now tell me about this Final Four decision. What do you think Omar was doing?
All right. What a season. What a season. If we look at the stats here, total wins, challenge wins, 5 challenge wins for Larry David. So for the jury to overlook that. None for Elaine Bennis.
Yeah, although award wins rarely get factored in when when you get to the jury stage.
But Elaine did not win a single challenge.
That's crazy.
Individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, even as a team.
Top most strategic, Walter White, Omar Little, Larry David, 1, 2, 3. So the jury felt like that he was strategic. He won challenges. I guess he, even though...
Did LD get a vote against him? Can you scroll down? Did LD get 1 vote against him the whole season?
You know what? He was at his most surly in the pre-merge. Like, there was several times before the merge that he isolated himself. He pissed everybody off. But then it's like the game agreed with him after a while.
Wait, scroll down on the votes
He
here.
never gets a vote against him.
He played a perfect game.
That's unbelievable. It's him and Cochran.
Yeah, there you go.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, he's going to be back for Survivor 40. Like he is.
Larry David, the greatest Survivor winner of all time, Mike.
It's hard to argue.
It's really hard. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, you could argue that he might have bristled initially socially, but if you talk about playing basically every facet of the game perfectly, there's a good argument behind it. This by far, I will say I love these simulations, but I think some of our endings for some of these might have been a little WTF or a little womp womp. This is by far the best ending to any of these simulations.
It made sense. Like everything here was like logical after once we got to the final 6. I mean, we have to talk about Larry David. Like, is he the greatest ever? Is he the GOAT, Larry David?
Yeah, and I thought he was a different type of GOAT early on. It turns out he was the other one.
I don't know. Akiva, what do you think? Larry David or Boston Rob in Redemption Island?
I was thinking, I mean, Boston Rob had like a whole crew of people who were just following his every word, where LD really just had Elaine and a little bit Oscar. Yeah. So I would go with Boston Rob, but listen, it's a conversation. We could
I mean, I think that, Larry David and Elaine, I think, we're talking about Omar and Walter White potentially being like the Steven and JT, but it's almost like that, Larry and Elaine were a little bit more like that, where then Larry was the challenge dominator who got to the end, won immunity. So I think he's probably somewhere in that JT Tocantins range.
That's fair. I mean, listen, that's lofty. First season.
He's like, maybe, a bottom top 10 all-time winner.
Bottom top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say like the TEOS for this season is going to be awesome also. Like when you really get into like the
you
narrative.
better start working on your Walter White impression, Rob.
That's right.
Right. Akiva, will we be accused of having the fix in to make Larry David win the Brant Steele?
I mean, why would we care? This is pretend. I think, honestly, I thought it would be more Oscar the Grouch would have been the funniest winner. So I would have fixed it for Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah. Okay. Mike, do you think we will get attacks of impropriety?
I mean, listen, there's always arguments like, what's production doing? Did they happen to give challenges that Larry David is good at? We all know how good he is at memorizing colors. But the fact of the matter
Putting
is...
mud on himself.
Exactly. Like, those are the two things he's known for. But the fact of the matter is he played, everything pretty perfectly. I mean, Elaine wasn't the one. He didn't have to like command Elaine along. Elaine was making some of those decisions along with him. He got lucky in Omar screwing up that final 4 vote. You have the former Mike members turning on each other. So, and they had, of course, like the specter of Daenerys and Leslie Knope were pretty. That's like 2-3 guaranteed rounds of voting. So I think he was able to take advantage of the landscape pretty well, and we end up with an absolutely bananas Survivor winner here.
Hear me out on this. That is Larry David sort of the ideal prototype for the type of person that would actually do well in front of the Survivor jury? Because I would imagine maybe Larry David and Elaine got up there and was sort of like, please, can I, vote for me? I didn't mean it when I voted for you.
She might have melted down more than Larry dominated also.
Because Larry, I think he sort of owned what he did. I think he got up there. He stated his accomplishments. He didn't apologize. He was unapologetic about his whole game.
Sure. He's not going to apologize.
That's true. It could be a thing where Elaine was trying to come off as someone like she wasn't. And Larry David is if anything, he's authentic to the bone. And I think that's sort of what a lot of people like Don Draper ironically admires that. I think people like Omar and Walter White admire that as well.
Yeah. I think Elaine might have been more likely to sort of like embellish things that she did or misrepresent herself, where I think like Larry didn't care the whole time.
Plus, when Homer Simpson walked in with that toupee, she did throw it out the window.
So
but
he was real.
vote.
He kept it real.
Like a 9-0 vote, there's no, he was winning when everyone showed up at Final Tribal. I don't think he swung 5.
What do we think the internet reaction was to this, though? Do we think that there was overwhelming hashtag Elaine was robbed?
I don't know.
Are there a lot of Elaine Stan accounts, basically, that are like coming after Rob, calling LD like the rightful winner?
I will see. We're getting too much in the weeds on Larry David versus Elaine in the final 2. Okay. All right. Mike Bloom, that it was 12 episodes in the making to get to this point, but what an epic episode of Rob and Akiva Need a Podcast. Thank you so much for all of your great work here today.
Thank you so much for having me on. This was truly ridiculous, and it panned out to everything I hoped it would be and more. I am so excited to hear how people react to this, and hopefully they shriek along with us with the winner.
Where can we find your exit interviews with Omar, Lucy Ricardo, Elaine, and Larry?
Yeah, Omar actually, he went to firefighter school, so we only had limited questions with him. But they'll be up on Parade tomorrow. I'll have lots of puns involved, like, I don't know, Marsha Brady goes to Davy Jones' locker or something like that. But no, this is great. And I'm also in the process of transcribing your dad know-it-alls advice as well. So really, RAANAP has provided for me in state. So I'm immensely grateful for that.
Okay. All right. We're going to get into talking about what's coming up on the wheel briefly. I think we'll keep it short, the wheel spin. Yes. Mike, anything else before we head to next week's wheel spin?
You can check out if you're in the mood for Akiva talking some Survivor. He was on with me and Liana Boris on the RHAP B&B to talk through some pretty ridiculous Survivor stuff as well. And Rob, I know we're getting near the end of the Survivor season as well, so there's a chance you and I might get together and have more shenanigans ensue. And hopefully we'll be able to say who is playing the most Larry David-esque game at that point.
Okay. All right. Mike Bloom, thank you so much. Great job, buddy.
Thank you. You too.